Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 3000th episode of the Phantom Zone. We are celebrating our
I kinda believe
32nd
you.
year in existence.
With our numbering, who knows? We could be in the millions by now.
I have lost all sense of how long we've been doing this show, honestly.
Time
The
and
show is
reason.
kind of like an endless maze, this show, and you're
Yeah.
just constantly feeling around trying to find the exit.
Well, to me, I don't think the show existed before I came on, so
No,
therefore
no.
we've only been on for like 3
No.
years.
I
don't have
I
podcast permanence.
I feel like I'm at the end of The Shining, and like there's gonna be like at the end, like we finally wrap up this show. There's gonna be like a photo posted somewhere that shows me with like a microphone at like an old 50s diner.
Right, and Lana Del Rey
Says,
is
"Stop
there,
slapping my
and
titties."
Yeah,
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not a photograph on a wall. It's actually a poster for Smallville.
yeah.
no,
If
it's
this show-
inside Smallville in a deleted scene hidden somewhere.
You know how
It's
pissed
from that
off I would
episode
be if
Yeah,
I found out this show existed in the Smallville universe.
Yeah,
I'd be
and
so
like
mad.
Otto's alluding to, you have to do like the deepest of dives into the show itself to find out where it actually occurred. Like,
Yeah,
Oh, I know it. It's the one episode in season 1 is the picture
stop
of
it,
Connor
Phil.
in the
Give it
old
a
folks'
face.
home with the episode where Granny Van Dam is in Smallville.
Oh, of
That's-
course. No. Yes, absolutely. That's where it would be. And it also shows up in one of the dreams because that lady is psychic in that episode,
Yes.
if I'm remembering correctly.
God, kill me.
What's worse? We're someone's dream, or we're an episode of Smallville?
Where someone's dream inside an episode of Smallville.
Yes.
That's
Connor,
it.
we're in Granny Van Dam's dream. Also, you have to take that into account.
Actually, I
then
was-
we're all naked.
I was going to say, we're
No.
at, isn't it Allison Mack, who's a member of Nexium?
Yes.
Okay.
Remember,
Yeah, so
she
we're,
was
Granny Van
number
Dam.
2. She was number 2.
we're all inside of a dream of hers on her way to the set of Smallville while she's also thinking about how she's going to get some of these terrible bitches branded.
Mhm.
There's not enough Inception gongs in between thoughts here. It's just because we need one every time we we're Boom!
Does
That's like the
anybody
power
have a
edited.
top?
If I were good at my job, I would go in and I would edit gong sounds in, but I will not do that.
No, we're not doing that.
No, we're not doing that. Not doing that. So
I will say that opening gag like totally shattered what I was waiting for, which I was gonna wait till someone gets me and just start going, yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah.
No,
no.
no.
I said hey.
No.
Oh
That's-
my god.
Resident Evil the movie.
Yeah, that who made that decision? Like, who okayed that?
Hey, remember the '90s, guys?
But like,
Uh,
tonally, that doesn't have anything
No,
to do with
it
the
doesn't.
movie or the game at all. Like, hey, this is from the '90s. Okay, cool. Oh, and she's
I-
wearing a top hat.
I have a
Wow.
theory.
hmm
Trailer editors are just fucking with us at this point.
Yeah.
Specifically, trailer editors who have to work for like Sony and studios that just constantly pump out trash. So they've decided to punish all of us for having to make trailers.
All right, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, I always think about the fact that Suicide Squad was edited by a trailer house, essentially, and
Mhm.
like that.
Wait, the
song
first
choices-
one, right?
Yeah, the first one.
yes.
And that the song choices are like the most basic level, like first idea you had that day selection. Like, what was it?
Oh.
Waller walks in and it was like "Sympathy for the Devil's playing now." Oh,
No, you know what it is? Is they
No, it's
watch
like a
some
filler
sort of
song.
it's songs from like Vietnam movies.
yeah,
That's what they pulled.
yeah, and they
Well-
all it's like, and there's no thought process. You're like, oh, what's the song? Oh, that makes too much sense. Okay.
So the Lou's pointing out Vietnam movies. I think that's actually like it may not be as last minute with that part because I think that might be just early songs that stayed. Ayer has talked about his version being like a war movie or whatever, so I could see some of those songs being there as like a throwback. Like I think you could look at it like a core sample. That movie, the song choices, you can tell when the song was put in based off of the tone in the movie that they were making at the time.
Yeah.
So when Trailer Park Girl starts playing, that's when the trailer company had fully taken over, and they were like, "Well, let's insert an Eminem song because we grew up in the 2000s and we like Eminem."
Yeah, and then Sony was like,
Yeah.
"We need to give him a whole concept album for our movie."
Exactly. It was inspired directly by that.
I was gonna say, you saying that Ayer said Suicide Squad was more like a war movie. I'm only going on other people's responses, but I think the Vietnam argument is apt because that movie is a lot like Vietnam for the people who sat through it.
In that it was a disaster, and
Yes.
it should be lauded.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm a little stoned. And for a second, I thought you were like, is the plot like a Vietnam War or something? And then like,
No.
it hit me. I was like, oh, it's because it's traumatizing.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people still have flashbacks about the horrible things that occur in that movie.
Right.
Like, this is Katana.
See, if none of
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
See, this is where
that scene that I
Harlan
still have
is
never
editing.
watched.
Or
I've
would we just
never
be
watched
dropping
that scene.
the
Never will.
Leto laugh in the background this whole time?
The sound of him purring is in my nightmares.
Hey,
Him
remember
just,
when
like-
he wanted Common to cuck him in that movie? I think about this a lot.
Yeah, I remember that.
Man, I'm
Well,
so
and then
glad.
he's mad that he doesn't.
I am
Yeah,
so
he gets
glad
upset.
I am a conscientious objector to this movie. Like, I still have yet to see it.
I wish I
I
were.
admire your endurance, like at some point,
Ah.
because like
But-
I don't know. I feel like I have to. It's like no, I have
Nope.
to know.
No.
Oh, I had to see it before I saw the new one. So I saw that in Birds.
All right, well, I'm
Nice.
glad we know
Did
who would
ya?
die in a Lovecraft novel. Like Eric's like, nope.
Oh, no. My mind would be open to that and worshiping Shub-Niggurath and all that. But no,
Mhm.
like, shit like this, like, I only have so much time on this earth, and I'm not trying to fill it with absolute dog
True.
shit.
Honestly.
No, there's
Like, here-
other dog shit to watch.
I
Yeah,
think,
there
you know,
is.
honestly, I've brought up a few times, like, especially now, Movie Dumpster has really just made me go, like, I don't give a fuck what you put on screen in the theater right now.
Oh,
No, I don't ever want to be like that. I like I d-
Like,
Well,
no human being should ever have to watch Pluto Nash. I'm telling you that right now. Like, it's an abominable.
as,
that
as
should
a
be a
human
war
being
crime.
who has seen that movie,
It's a fucking
yes.
crime against humanity, and I think it should be just canned and stored and fucking dropped into the center of the earth, like every copy of it. And like
Mhm.
once you've experienced that, like everything is an improvement. You're like,
It is.
well, it's not.
It is
I've
legitimately.
suffered worse.
It is admirable that Rosario Dawson has had such a good career after that movie.
she was in that?
Yeah.
She's the female lead.
I've never seen it. I don't.
Dude.
I once again, I don't have time for terrible garbage.
Eric, I mean, do you want to know who the villain of the movie is?
I'd probably some crusty white dude.
No, it's Eddie Murphy.
Oh, he's a
But
clone
no,
of
but
himself.
It's
Yeah.
Derpy Total Recall.
But the
Okay.
thing is, that's the twist. Is you actually think the villain is Alec Baldwin.
Okay.
Who
Okay.
shows up on a tiny
Well,
screen for 5 seconds, and that is
Yeah.
it. He never appears again.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways,
Resident Evil
No,
is going to be a thing, and it looks, sure.
No,
I'm
It
rooting
won't-
for this
it-
movie now. I'm rooting for it only because I want everyone who's complaining about the casting to go fuck themselves.
Oh, I
Okay, you know what?
Yes.
Yeah,
I can agree with that.
sure.
To that end, yes, I agree, and I'm still going to see it. And I'm probably going to see it enthusiastically because, like, I'm like,
No.
because we've talked about it. Like, I'm like, you have so many pieces that I greatly enjoy, and then there's everything else that makes me go, "What are you doing?"
I don't think it looks any worse than any of the Paul W. Anderson.
No,
ones.
I think it looks better than the Paul W. S.
It
Anderson
does
movies.
look better than
Yes.
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Well, are they? If they're filming it like not in Eastern Europe, like
Yeah.
it,
they're not,
that's
filming
an
in they're not
improvement.
filming in a craggy wasteland and just putting Mila Jovovich there. Like,
Yeah.
So I was saying this in the Resident Evil Stars posting group, which is a snake hole. I
I'm
was
sorry,
saying this.
what?
Yeah,
Wait,
no,
we need
don't.
to
It's
circle
a
back
snake
to
hole.
that.
So I think the problem with making American Resident Evil movies is that
Mhm.
they're send up of American like B
Yes.
horror and action movies.
Right.
And as
yeah,
soon
yeah,
as
yeah.
you get like a big budget behind them, it loses all its charm.
here's the thing too.
Yeah.
Like I heard
Yeah.
someone say it was Matt Curion. He was like, "They're goofy." I'm like, "But they're not goofy with intent." Like 1 and 2 are like
No.
as serious as a fucking heart attack, and the goofiness comes from one, how serious it is, and the voice
Yeah.
acting, but they're not like
They-
they
Well,
weren't
okay.
like
They
let's
were
make
earnest.
a funny game.
So-
but yeah,
Oh, the games.
Connor,
Yeah.
I saw that interaction. I just want to point out you're splitting hairs.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's just say that up front. You're splitting hairs.
but
They are very
Matt's
much going
but
for
Matt's like,
camp.
oh, they're goofy games. I'm like, but they're
No,
not.
they
are-
goofy though.
They're
They
not
are.
goofy. They're not
No, they're
goofy
not.
on intention.
Exactly.
No, they're not goofy in the
No.
way that
They're goofy like
what is it?
Tommy
goofy
Wiseau's
like-
The Room is goofy.
Yeah, they're
Right.
goofy like the room.
They're not.
Yeah,
exactly. They're
it's-
not
they're-
intentionally comedy games, but they
It's-
are goofy.
It's
They're
it's
painfully earnest.
yeah.
Yes.
It's a Japanese game company trying to make an action movie, and
Mhm.
Action horror. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
action
Yeah.
horror.
And then terrible American voice dubs over it.
yeah,
Right.
Actually,
I
I thought I had read or heard something on a podcast recently. I can't remember which, talking about like those original like video, not like animation, but the live
Yeah.
video from the original.
the
wrestling
FMV.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. That was the word I was struggling for. They weren't even really actors. They just
No.
found Americans that
Yes.
who happened to live in Japan at the time. and
yes,
like,
that's
okay,
exactly what happened.
you're
Yeah.
Barry Burton now. Like what? What's a Barry Burton?
So
Yeah.
much so that I think the original actor for Chris Redfield, no one knows his real name.
That doesn't shock me at all.
Yeah, because all the actors are on like credited are fake names. It's not, but they can't figure out who was actually
That's
Chris Redfield
amazing.
in the
I
original.
love it. That's like ask me a voice actor in Robin Hood from Disney.
What?
Couldn't fucking tell you exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Kevin Costner.
Yes. Yeah. Morgan
Oh wow!
Freeman.
Alan
I'm
Rickman.
actually I'm shocked you're even going with that movie.
Well, I mean, I don't think he was going to say Errol Flynn. So
No.
I don't,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Or
like-
the other direction, which is Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. Who was
Oh,
Robin Hood most
oh.
recently?
Wait. who is-
Edgerton
Yeah, Taron Egerton, right?
and Jamie
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx.
Wait,
Mhm.
what?
Let's make another one of those.
Wait,
Jamie Foxx
Eric,
was,
have you
That was the
forgotten-
Guy Ritchie one, right?
Yeah, it was
wasn't-
Guy Ritchie.
Well, it was Guy Ritchie style. It was
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I
it
thought he
was-
produced it or direct. Did he
I'm sure I guarantee his name is on there, but he did the that King Arthur one that's like super middle of the road.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was.
the Clive Owen one.
No,
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 that's
no.
the Charlie Hunnam one that everyone
The
forgot.
Charlie
I love-
Hunnam one.
Yeah.
I love how we
forgot
don't know
that.
which one it is.
Well, that's because the public
yeah,
domain.
that's
so
always
everybody
like
can do
that's the
them.
problem.
Well, also like name all the King Arthur movies that have come out in theaters in the past like 10 years. Or the past 15
King
years.
and Kid Arthur's Court.
Oh, what's the one
there's a
where the
lot
kid
actually.
has the sword in his bedroom and it's English? That's like a King Arthur thing,
The
isn't it?
Librarian.
It's the kid who would be king. That's probably
Yeah.
the best of them.
Uh,
Actually,
There was
Yeah.
the newer one that was shit. Wasn't it the guy who directed fuck, I can't remember. The alien lands in the housing project in England.
oh, Outland. No,
I-
No?
No,
No,
not
no.
Outland.
No, that's the
No,
kid
there
who
was a
would be
movie.
king. You're
Yeah,
thinking
okay.
of
Section
yeah, yeah.
9? With
No,
the
the
frog?
movie
was
Eric's
different.
talking about, the alien movie, is the one with what's his name from
Attack
Star
the
Wars
Block.
and stuff.
Attack
Yeah,
the
he's
Block.
talking about-
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
know
the
you're
same
talking
director. Yeah, that
Yeah,
one had
okay, I
Rose
just-
the Hat in it as like a dragon lady.
Is the
Um,
Green Knight technically a King Arthur related movie? I guess.
It's
It's-
Arthurian.
Yeah,
It's
it's
Arthurian
Arthurian.
legends.
Yeah,
it's
it's
adjacent,
Gawain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
It takes
Yeah.
place
It's
in
a
the
Shakes-
King
it's a
Arthur
Shakespeare
cinematic
thing.
universe.
Right.
Dude, okay, here's the thing. You joke, but that was the intention with the Hunna movie,
Yeah.
was to have a King Arthur like fucking
Ah,
franchise.
The
Why?
Kaku.
All I can think
I,
of with
I
all this
wouldn't
is
want
like,
that, but I would want a Arthur universe based
Actually, you know
off
what?
the Green Knight, because there are things that
Actually-
happen in the Green Knight that I want a universe built around. Like, this is a spoiler for Green Knight. You see a lot of semen in that film.
Oh,
more than you would
all
expect.
right.
Tell me more.
well, here's the thing. Like, I love that kind of movie. I'm a history teacher. I love
I-
all that shit.
I do
If
like
you can't.
I do like a good
Somebody.
Middle Ages movie, like not even fantasy, Just give me a bunch of knights fucking shit up. I'm good.
Right.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
Kingdom.
It's like if you can't make a better King Arthur movie than Excalibur, then fuck off.
Yes.
Don't make your movie.
Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah,
Man,
no,
I still haven't seen that yet, but like every time it
Oh.
pops up, I'm like,
Wait,
oh
what?
fuck, I know, dude.
You
I
should-
just
No,
haven't
we're
seen
not,
it.
this isn't me. It's good that this is our 5-year anniversary. We have talked about Excalibur and how you need to
Yeah.
watch Excalibur.
No, and
At
I think
least
the thing was, I brought to Joe and Sean, and because they floated the idea of being like, we could do it for the show, I was like, then I won't watch until we do it, and that's kind of how I've been approaching
Oh,
movies like
I
that.
actually, I honestly don't know if it would be a great. It's too
He-
good.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we're kind of we're changing our format.
I know, but it's long.
Yeah, I know.
it's
I know you talk about
good.
wanting to
Eric,
like
that was
grow
a
it.
very
Like,
telling well.
Yeah.
this
It's-
idea of
it's-
it's a thing that's underappreciated is still
Yes.
staying. I don't know if it really.
This thing
works.
has the coolest
Yeah.
box art I've ever seen on a movie.
It also, like, from what I've seen of it, I'm like, I was telling Arlen this the first time I laid eyes on it, I'm like, this is the closest thing anyone would get to an aesthetic Dark Souls movie I've ever laid eyes on. Like, it's that tone and aesthetic, like,
This-
just perfectly.
And to
That's
go
long.
this long without
That
talking about
movie
Helen
is
Mirren,
like, yeah, dude. Helen
Jesus
Mirren,
Christ,
it's like,
is
it-
Morgana Le
yeah.
Fay, and you're just like, okay, do whatever you want. I'll submit.
yeah, no, yeah, exactly.
I
It's
guess
like,
I give up now.
like
mhm.
that movie, its armor is fucking rad. It has all these amazing set designs, but it's still kind of clunky in places.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
it. Like
It's
I love it.
fucking
It was
wild.
That's what I've heard. I've
No, I
heard
love
it's like it's a flawed, like it's great but very flawed. But people who've seen it are like, yeah, I dig it. Like
It's
Yeah,
a
and
John
the
Bourne
cast
movie,
is
so there's a
fucking-
certain
yes.
level of like
the cast is
brokenness.
the cast
There's a
is just
certain level of
exponentially
cocaine.
crazier as you go along because it's cameos from people you know, and then
Oh,
it's
Liam
starring
Neeson
young versions
is
of
like
people you really know.
Liam Neeson's like 22 in it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was not born 43 years old.
No, and they had to build a special
No, but
set of
he
armor
kinda
to
looks
fit
like
his
it.
dick
Yeah.
in.
No, you know what's funny? You mentioned that. Like, Ian McKellen in The Keep looks the same, but you spread wax all over his face. Like he looks exactly
Oh,
the same.
You want to know what's even wilder to see? I'm almost positive because Patrick Stewart's in that. I feel like he has hair in the movie.
Life Force. Oh yeah, he's in
He's in
Excalibur.
Excalibur.
I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Liam Neeson, have you ever seen all the photos of him peeing his pants?
Yes.
Or, like, yeah, there's like a bunch of photos of him where it looks
He
like
gets
he peed his
he
pants.
gets shit faced hammered.
Yeah,
But the thing is, when he pisses his pants, it's past his knee. So what does he care?
yeah, exactly.
I
He
mean,
wins.
One
when
thing I
your
wanted
wife
to
dies the way that she died,
I would drink
Yeah,
too,
who
yeah.
gives a fuck?
the one thing I wanted to add real quick about Excalibur is it was one of the first 2 VHS films I ever got when I was a kid because I remember asking
Oh.
for it when I
Was
was
the
like,
other one that hentai movie?
no, it was Akira was the other VHS I got.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
pretty close.
yeah, no,
Almost
no,
there.
Okay, so Eric, I'm glad that you.
It
I'm
planted
glad
the
that you said
seed,
this.
that's for sure.
Also,
Because I
but, like,
know-
man, crazy psychedelic movies.
Oh yeah.
man.
So that movie, I know for theaters, it came out in 2 different versions. It came out in a PG version and an R.
There's like
version.
I think isn't there like an X version of it?
I didn't know
There
anything about
probably
that.
is.
I
I
only ever
think
saw
that
the
I-
R version.
Well, no, I think the version that's currently that you would get now was like an X cut at like when it originally
I
came
imagine
out.
it's like RoboCop.
Okay.
Like when you get
Mhm.
RoboCop, like the director's cut, like that's probably the X-rated one that they were like.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's-
there's so
Boy.
much nudity
I've
and like
seen that
violence
one.
in Excalibur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
with the RoboCop, like the what was the like director's cut / unrated. Like I remember Criterion was the only one that had it for the longest time, and like
That's the one where everyone gets shot in the dick, right?
well, no, that's my
Well, no, that was
RoboCop
a
movie.
parody.
Everybody gets shot in the dick. That's
No, but like
Yeah, that was a
the guy in the dick 300 times.
like I completely understand why that version wasn't released widely to theaters because the scene where Murphy gets killed is horrific.
It's
insane.
agonizingly long, and like every time you think he's dead, he just gets back up. You're like, what the fuck? Stop moving!
Dude,
Well, it's
the part
it's
that
that
always
last
sticks in my
shot.
head. Oh, the
Yeah.
part that sticks to me is the hand when they blow off his arm
Yes.
when he puts his hand on the shotgun.
yes.
Oh,
They also
Yeah.
just shoot him at close range with shotguns, like 12
All the
times
times?
a piece, like
Mhm.
and like
Well,
blow
that's
the
the-
rest of his arm off.
The unrated version, you see like the back of his head blown out.
Yes,
Like
Ugh.
it's really fucking graphic. Like
dude, that I
It's-
think
and it I love the extended version because you're like, no, he's dead, Alex
Yeah.
Murphy died that day, and what
Yeah.
came back was
There's like
something else.
nothing.
Like,
Yeah, there's like nothing left of his brains.
well,
I remember that scene, and when the end when he hit the guy who just explodes into mush is
Yes.
insanely graphic.
There's also, I think, more shots of Boddicker getting hit in the throat with the like the data spike. I think there's
Yeah.
more of that
Yes.
because like when he gets hit and like that sprays everywhere, like and it's gross. It's like
That movie's so good, and like I
Yes.
love how
movies all
people
time.
don't realize how much of a satire it is. And
yes, I have a
Yeah.
friend who
All
refuses to
Verhoeven
watch it
films.
because he looks at it and just thinks of it like as the most surface level analysis. He's like, RoboCop, that's fucking stupid. And I'm like,
no,
Well, that
it's
person that person
isn't it
is-
what's his name that did that did Starship Troopers?
Verhoeven.
It's Verhoeven,
Yeah,
it's
Verhoeven. Yeah, and it's him just
Director
fucking
of,
shit
L.
talking. Yeah, it's him just shit talking like the American like militarization of the police. Like
yeah,
it is
and, like,
such a
and
left wing
capitalism, all kinds
movie.
of shit like that.
Yeah, it
Well,
is
that
like
I mean, Starship Troopers, like that, he didn't even have to create that satire because that's kind of what the books were, from what I've
oh
heard.
yeah, that
Yeah.
is what the books are.
He softened it from what I understand.
Oh,
Yeah.
his best addition
Yeah.
to it, I think, is those commercials, which are amazing. Like that's my favorite parts of the movie.
Yes.
Thing is, like, I saw it when I was younger, and like I took that movie at surface
At
level,
face
and was
value.
like, yeah, I'm
I
like,
think
these are
most
these are
people
fucking
think that.
heroic military guys, blah blah blah. And then like when I got older, I was like, man, why else Neil Patrick Harris dressed like a Nazi? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, he's scary now. Like when he does
Yeah.
the whole like it's afraid scene, like that has a different
yeah,
tinge to it when you're older. Yeah.
Oh
absolutely.
no, the whole citizen scene when they're in the classroom is fucking
Mhm.
crazy. Like
Yeah,
in 2021,
and
especially
also,
now.
It's
I think it
Hitler
was either
Youth.
Mr. Sunday Movies or somebody else pointed out to me that like every time you see an older character, they're all deformed, they're missing a limb, they've got
Yeah.
like some kind of robotic prosthesis. Like all the
The-
old people were all mangled in war, and they're just
The
spreading
only-
this fucking
yeah,
awful
well,
virus to these
The
young
only
kids.
ones who are not are Rico's parents.
Yeah.
They're the only ones who aren't.
Yeah, but
They're
they
you
die
don't
in
see
they
gas
them-
live
road.
in
Yeah.
Buenos Aires. Like,
Yeah. And I mean, Connor, you saying like all the old people are mangled and whatnot. Well, it's, service guarantees citizenship and you got to pay a
Mhm.
price.
exactly. Yeah, and I'm like, God, I'm like, this whole thing is so sinister. When I watched it in like my late teens and early 20s, I was like, holy shit, this is evil. Like,
Well,
Right.
I think it's also to kind of put the three of us as the older people in here. It's just like I think we were kind of the people who like our parents showed us stuff way too young.
yeah.
I saw all this stuff when I was like 10 or
Oh
11
yeah, I
when
saw
it was
RoboCop
coming
when I
out.
was little, and like I discovered Guyver by myself on an afternoon Saturday, like on Saturday and Sci-Fi, and like
Oh, I'm
if my
with you.
mother had walked by in Guyver 2 when he just like disembowels some fucking rhino man, she'd have fucking had a heart attack. My dad's like,
Oh.
fuck yeah, like
Yeah, I watched all that stuff. My first anime, my older brother showed me, it was fucking Akira, and I was 12.
oh god,
I don't know. Akira's not that
Wow.
bad. Like,
I had no idea what was going on. I was like, this
Well,
is
yeah.
pretty. Oh
if
my
you've never
god.
seen-
I
if
saw
you've never
Ninja
seen
Scroll
anything
a
like
bit
that,
too young, I
Oh.
would say.
That was my other one. He would just give me VHSs. I
Okay,
saw
yeah.
Ninja Scroll. And I was
Ninja
like,
Scroll
this movie
rules.
starts off with a rape. Yeah, but then she's made of poison? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Ninja
No,
Scroll
that's-
is like the most edgelord shit ever, and it rules.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Well, I don't know how many of you actually did this. It might just be something that I did when I was a kid, or if it continued and when I was older and didn't notice. But I was exposed to a ton of horror movies and stuff that I probably shouldn't have seen because
yes.
I would stay up like late on Saturdays because my parents would let me. They'd just be like, "Oh, you can stay up if you want to."
I am.
And we didn't have HBO or anything like that, so this was all
Right.
like,
Oh,
yeah.
I was Jersey.
I
We
had
a
a
hot
version of
box.
that.
We
What?
had a hot
Okay.
box.
Like
Wow.
basically, and I've told the story in the movie dumpster. Like me and Joe had frequented the same video store in the town we lived in, and like it was A to Z Video. And because of just how the time period was, like as a
Mhm.
14-year-old, I could walk in with my allowance and just like stick my hand on a horror shelf and just like and just knock a bunch of rated R movies into a bag, bring them
Oh.
up front.
Yeah.
Nobody cards me. Nobody says a thing. I leave. I go home, and I spend a whole weekend watching movies I have no business watching.
Oh, that's literally. Maybe it's a Jersey thing, because we did the same thing. Like, we had a local video store, we had a Blockbuster, and a Hollywood Video, and that was like, all right, we don't want to deal with the children for the weekend. Here, pick out
Yeah.
3 movies,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Well,
oh, which one has
Well,
the most
I
insane
don't know if
cover
that's
art.
a Jersey thing. I think that's just an East Coast thing. I mean,
Okay.
as the West
well, why?
Coaster,
What was your
um,
experience, Arlen?
well, rental stores were like very hard to get to. You had
Go
to have
walk
a
up the
car.
stairs in the cemetery.
I,
Like if I wanted to walk to a Blockbuster, it was a walk. It was a trek.
I
Um,
just thought about that.
like it's not an easy thing. So no, for me, and I've sent like an email into Movie Dumpster like a year ago about this. A big one was AMC Fear Fridays, which I was allowed to watch because I would wait up for my mom who worked a night job. And that was a big thing for me, being introduced to a lot of horror movies and like movies that were a little bit too violent. And then my grandmother would record stuff for me that I was like, I really want to see this. And my grandmother, I've told this before, she's the one who showed me Kill Bill one and part 2 in the same night. So she did not give a
Yeah,
fuck about what I was watching.
what's funny to me is like the
Arlen,
sad,
I recorded Anal Palace 15 for you, like you asked.
Well,
the fact that Bill is
she would have drawn the line there.
makes me feel so old though. It's like I was an adult and I bought Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2.
Yeah, I was an adult when I saw that in the theaters.
I saw it in theaters.
I-
But I think
I
my
saw it in
mind was
theaters.
blown because my sister was dating some guy at the time who was like, he was the one who showed me how to like BitTorrent. He's the one who showed me how to make VCDs and SVCDs.
Oh yeah.
He showed me, he modded my Xbox for me, and I had like an OG modded Xbox for a long time. But he showed me.
Well,
Huh?
no, I was just going to say real quick, Hunter, I'm guessing you aren't super into horror because of a Catholic upbringing.
well, no, I it's actually sadder than that.
Oh.
So no, I've talked about this in the group chat before. Is like my dad only really watches
Was a Frankenstein.
no, that too.
Oh.
He only really watches like hunting movies, and like if he does, he loves
What
hunting.
what is a hunting movie?
So they sell like these DVDs that have like the show like hunting gear and stuff like that, like
Yes,
showing people hunt stuff.
Lou, it's
Okay.
like that
I
guy
thought
who
you
was on Rogan a lot who did like
Yeah.
hunting
Yeah.
videos, but
I
it's
thought
like
you
the
were
old
talking
version
about
of
like
that.
like most dangerous game or
Well,
the better
no,
version.
No, I before Hunter loses his chain of thought or steam, I just wanted to say maybe it's Hunter is repressing some trauma here, and it was just his dad was continually watching the Russian roulette scene from The Deer Hunter, and he's just like, oh, Dad likes hunting movies.
Yeah, if he did watch a movie, it was usually like it was usually based on something or like a Disney movie. But what he would do was
Okay.
he would buy us VHSs. Like we had this huge VHS tapes that he never watched. We only watched. It was mostly like Disney movies. There was like a couple other miscellaneous things like that Bruce Willis movie where he had like a kid or something. It was like the Sundance Kid or something.
Yes, that is a movie.
Like his own kid, or
Billy-
or
yeah.
he adopts himself as like a kid.
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, we had that, and that was really the only movies I could watch for a while. And my mom didn't let me watch really.
Wait, okay, you
Oh,
said
so you're saying you
based
had
on-
parents that cared about what you were doing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it had
good
to
for
be
you.
based on something. So
Hey,
like
I'm
currently-
Generation X, baby. I was a latchkey kid.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
Current-
latchkey.
currently, Hunter, is your father obsessed with movies like Hacksaw Ridge?
Yes.
Because
You know
there
what's
are very
funny?
many movies that
You
are
know what's
about
funny?
real
He
people
loves-
anymore.
His new thing is he'll like I'll go out to get breakfast with him because he lives locally, and we'll like sit there and he'll tell me about movies we watch. And like recently, he was like, he saw Infinity War, I believe, and he was like, I didn't really.
God.
He was like, I didn't really like Infinity War, and he goes, I don't like that they all died at the end.
He just
Like,
never
Dad,
went back.
no, it was so funny.
That's
I don't think
legitimately
he's-
like watching Empire and never going back.
I was just saying, it's like watching Empire and be like, they just lost. What fucking boot? Like, what
Luke
bozos?
loses his
Yeah.
hand and Vader's his dad, and they just fucking lose. And Han's going, the fuck?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
I can't believe they did that. Wow, what a fucking piece of shit.
so yeah, whenever I say I haven't seen a movie, that's why.
Okay. I just
Okay.
and real quick, when you said your dad and you would go out to dinner and he would tell you about stuff, I was expecting to be, and he'd tell me about the newest Q drop and how
Oh no,
Oh, I was waiting for that
he
too.
used to do that. He used to do
Oh,
that.
no.
But my brother and my grandmother teamed up on him, and he doesn't
Oh,
do
shit.
it anymore.
So you're telling
Thank
me your
God.
dad was a baker, is what you're telling me.
Wait, what?
Oh, you don't know about that?
No,
Wait,
what?
Hunter, do
Oh,
you not
God.
know this term? Oh,
Oh,
No.
yeah. No, the QAnon followers would often talk about how there were breadcrumbs, which were the hints and whatnot that were
Oh, God.
in
I
like the
hate it
various
so much.
drops. And
Oh no.
were the bread makers the ones who were deciphering the breadcrumbs? I
I
can't
think
remember,
so.
Arlen.
It's the people who could put the crumbs together to
That's
form
it.
a
Oh,
loaf of
Is
bread.
this
So my
that's
old
how the
coworker
coworker
analogy
is what you're
works?
saying.
It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah. Well, and this,
Hunter, are
especially
you surprised? These are people who chose the movie White
White
Squall
No,
Squall.
as
no, yeah. Well,
calling card.
now
The
that you
best,
put it that way, I'm not surprised at all.
the
Well,
best
what's
thing. Oh, go ahead, Liz.
Oh no, you go ahead because I was gonna spin back to
Okay.
something else.
The best thing about their following of White Squall and the Where We Go One, We Go All, they were basing that off of a bell that they said John F. Kennedy had
What?
been given or gave to someone with that quote, and that never happened. So
What?
they,
Man.
yes, yeah. So they
Unless it was a
completely,
woman or pills, John F. Kennedy didn't do it.
Right.
No,
I
it's
mean,
true.
so I put this into one of the chats a while ago, and nobody responded. Probably because nobody remembered the movie. It's a good thing they didn't pick a different Jeff Bridges movie from the '90s. Uh, there's a movie called
Oh,
Arlington Road.
Oh.
yes, I've seen that. Is that the one where
no, I
he's like
forgot about that.
And if
he
they had
gets
just
tricked
watched
being a
Arlington
terrorist?
Road, we would be in a very different world right now.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's the one where he gets with Tim Robbins, right?
Yeah, and
Mhm.
Tim Robbins is like a secret, like
Yeah, it's the Oklahoma City thing.
yeah. Well, no, it's like a Hitchcockian conspiracy about separatist groups, and the biggest problem with it is actual separatist groups aren't as organized as the separatist groups.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, what?
They aren't as smart. They don't know how to
Really?
do LLCs, or they wouldn't.
Are you
Uh,
telling me?
You're
Hold on.
telling me
Hold on.
that Bocephus and his truck full of guns aren't going to overthrow the government?
You're
No, they
Wait,
aren't. But if they
you're telling me
follow the
that those
rules,
those COVID MREs aren't going to cure them?
Yeah.
no, they aren't.
That the
But if they had
pharmaceutical
seen this
companies are
movie,
giving people
maybe
from
things would go differently. Because if they copied the strategy of this fake group in the movie Arlington Road, they would maybe like blow up a building.
Well, that's right. I
Like,
think it's directly based on like Oklahoma City and like
Yeah,
that
it
Timothy
is,
whole
but
McVeigh.
again, there's a
Yeah.
larger conspiracy because what they suggest is that like this group basically pushes people into being their patsies. Like they use
Oh, yeah,
pressure
yeah.
points and things to like get you to be the one who takes the fall, so it doesn't look like there's a group.
Yeah,
behind
because
it.
the ending has like that whole Usual Suspects ending, except he's already
Mhm.
fucked.
Yes, basically at the end, it's like Jeff Bridges realizes he's been tricked into blowing up an FBI building.
Mhm.
How
Yeah,
do you,
well,
how
that's
do you get tricked
Wah,
into doing
wah.
that?
because they make him think that something's gonna like he's gonna go stop it, but the car that
Mhm.
he takes has the bomb in it.
Yes,
okay,
and also
okay.
he thinks he's following a van that has his son in it, and it's his only connection to anybody. Like his wife is dead. The separatist group killed his recent girlfriend.
What?
So
Fuck.
Whoa.
Yes, it's an insane movie.
Breaking
Tim
Bad?
Robbins is really good in it. Yeah,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
circle back, I was gonna say like actually that's kind of funny because I feel like that's one of the because that's not really it's because we were talking about movies like our dads watch. I feel like a lot of the movies that got shown and it's like an 80s or 90s thing that kind of went away is like those like weird kind of right wing Reagan era action movies where like
yeah.
everything I've ever watched and then all those horror movies of that era. And
I
I got to watch all of it.
think
Yeah.
I've said what my dad's like favorite movie was. I've also alluded that he would build model submarines. So
Oh,
what do you
yeah.
think my favorite
U-571?
dad's No,
Oh,
Your favorite dads?
my favorite
Your
my dad's
favorite
favorite
dad.
movie is it's fucking Das
Das
Boot. He's
Boot?
watched like every
Oh.
edition of
I'm not
it.
shocked.
It's
I'm
not.
not
You're telling
shocked.
me it's not Hunt for Red October.
If he was born 30 years earlier, his favorite would be Ice Station Antarctica 51 or whatever
Yeah.
that's
Ice Station
called.
Zero, which was Howard
Ice-
Hughes' favorite movie.
He
Oh my
fucking,
God.
like he thinks submarines are the coolest fucking things ever. Like, I don't
But
know
does he like
anyone
the?
else
So
on
here's the
Earth
thing.
who also
Does he
thinks
not
that
like the one
submarines are the
Gonzalez
coolest
in?
fucking things ever. So
Ah, yes,
I
the
might be your
Irish, so well
father
known for their
past. I might
submarine
have
skills.
figured out.
submarine.
Because
That's just what they call a potato when they throw it in the water.
Yeah, cool, submarine. Ah, there you go.
Hey, get
yeah,
in there,
I
you
remember
wee
him.
fucker.
I remember him telling me like how fucking scary the idea of a U-boat was to me. Like I was younger, I'm like, this is terrifying. Why are you telling me this? Like, you mean they're there now? Like,
there's so many questions.
Because I love your
Connor,
son, and I need you
They
to
could
be
be.
safe.
I need you to be afraid the
remember
rest of your life. The Germans are still out there, boy.
I can't remember what the Matthew McConaughey movie was where he has to take over a German U-boat. But was your dad like waiting in line to see that movie at
No,
midnight?
we did. I did see
Um,
U571 in theaters though, and like
Oh,
that's
wow.
as a kid.
I think that puts you on a list.
Probably.
If you ever meet Matthew McConaughey now, he has to legally give you a submarine.
I saw U571 and like the only thing I remember from that movie is like a prisoner on like a German prisoner on that sub sending Morse code to a different German sub saying I am U571, destroy me, and that's it.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the only thing I fucking remember. But like, yeah, I saw it in theaters with my dad and
I-
my uncle.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Arlen.
I watched it last summer, and there are a lot of things about it that stand out. John Bon Jovi is in the film for
Yes, he is.
Forgot about that
good amount
entirely.
Yes, he is.
and Bill Paxton is also there. He definitely gets the psycho treatment.
Well, he gets to be Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But Lou, my point is that I think he gets like blown up, but like really blown up at one point.
In
like
a submarine. How does that work?
well, no, because he's not even in a submarine. He's like still in the water because they're like transferring, like they're trying to get people back onto the other sub to like get them out of the water, and then he like dies in the most like epic explosion that I
Oh,
think.
hell yeah.
Yeah, because Eric, have you seen it?
No.
It's about like it's Americans basically take over German sub after like their own mode of transportation gets destroyed. I think like their ship goes down and they just like they swim over to a U-boat and get in. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
a U-boat
most
that's
of
surface,
the-
and they basically climb on top and they're like, all right, fuck this.
Yeah, most of
Wow.
the crew I don't remember what happened to the German crew, but most of them aren't there or they're dead, except for a couple of them that like hide aboard the ship. Yeah.
I just wanna say-
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you guys just gave me a memory, like
Oh,
flashback
okay.
just now to something, and I'll go back to it of like an insane thing of movie watching with my dad, which I guess this is the episode that we're doing.
Well, I'm sure we'll
Dad
transition to
watch.
this at some point.
Well,
Dad
there's,
watch.
there's something I
We'll
wanted
find
Hey,
a way
I'm
out.
fine with it.
talk to Hunter about, but the last I was going to say vampire. Good job, Eric. The last submarine movie that I watched, that I remember at least, it was a horror movie, and it had the dude from Fight Club who was like, no, wait, his name is Robert Paulson in Death. Do you know who I'm talking
Oh,
about? That
The guy
actor.
that's in
Maybe.
Mindhunters. The guy in
guy's in
Mindhunters.
what?
Holt McCallum?
Yeah.
Yes, he's in Mindhunters. You're right.
Yeah,
yes.
he's the other lead
Yeah.
with the guy
Yeah.
from Hamilton.
Yeah.
Lee.
So that dude that was in Mindhunters, he was in a submarine, and it's a horror / ghost movie, and I can't remember the name of it
Ooh,
off the top
that's a
of my
good
head.
idea.
What?
Yeah,
That's
it
an
wasn't
interesting
half
idea.
bad, but I don't remember much else about it other than like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
This is just a plot to Beyond Two Souls.
I'm also thinking about the fact that, like you said, submarine movie. I'm like, how many submarine movies are there? Like,
Is
I
it
don't
There's
know.
like I bet you there's really only
Okay,
like
this is an
9.
older movie, if it's the one I'm thinking of.
Hmm.
Below.
That might be it. I don't know.
Wait, written by David Aronofsky? What the fuck?
That's
What?
Really?
Directed by David Toohey?
Maybe
What?
that's why I saw it, is because the Aronofsky connection.
What are these words? This combination of words is like
the director
blowing
of
my
Riddick?
mind
What
right
the
now.
fuck?
The director of Pitch Black and Darren Aronofsky worked on a movie together. What the hell?
Yeah, man.
That sounds
Yeah, so
amazing.
I guess I was right. It wasn't half bad.
Probably, yeah,
Good job,
probably
me.
great.
What's that,
Yeah,
Hunter?
like my dad's he's definitely seen like Hunt for October and like anything like that's like or any
what's
movie that's
Crimson
parallel
Tide?
to that, like or whatever. Yeah, whatever,
Crimson.
there's a
Crimson
there's a
Tide's the
Harrison Ford one.
Denzel.
So does your
Yeah.
dad think like boats are bullshit then?
He loves boats.
Well, here's my
He loves
question,
boats.
Connor.
He loves being like
Has-
he loves being in the ocean, and he loves boats. He loves boating. He has a sailboat.
What does he think of Down Periscope?
Oh, that's his hot shots. I've seen Down Periscope
Oh, I
like
know.
50 times. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, I've
What
seen
is-
so many times.
I love the idea of your dad just being just like an old sailor dude. Just like he's like the dude from Jaws, where he's just
I'm telling you,
He's-
like
he's
it's
Quint.
weird. You put us in the same room together, and it's like, yeah, we're like you're related, but like, how are you?
I
you
just
come
love
from
the
him.
fact that his taste is in film is so singularly focused. It can only be submarine or submarine adjacent.
so I like
Well,
That's
I
it.
think
Well, okay, no.
I think
He
that's
also
a
loves,
dad
so wait,
thing,
it's
though.
naval movies. Okay, so he also
Ne-
loves Master and Commander.
Oranges?
He
Oh,
fucking loves that
God.
movie.
okay.
It's a
So he loves
movie.
Pirates of the Caribbean. He loves Master and Commander. He loves
He loves
fucking-
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
Really?
of course. It's fucking pirate ships.
What about McHale's
Alright.
Navy?
Probably.
Yeah, that's
The one with Tom Arnold?
I'm sure
All
he saw
right.
Battleship and was like, it's not half bad. Boats.
So if you just put a boat in the movie,
My dad's like, yeah.
Dude, did your dad love Battleship?
oh my God.
Okay,
what
wait a
about-
second. Did your dad hate Titanic or did he love Titanic?
yeah.
I
Like,
was thinking, what's the Mark Wahlberg movie? The Perfect Storm? Is that like
Like,
his horror movie?
like, did your dad cheer when the ship cracked in half? And started-
Oh my god, that was his Infinity War. He saw that and he was like, I didn't like it. I didn't like that the ship sank. I didn't think that was right.
Oh my god, I can't believe that broke me in half.
That
Just like the
cocksucker of
boat.
an iceberg.
Who's he more mad at, the captain of the iceberg?
Holy shit.
You better go down with that ship, you fucker.
Trick question, he was the spotter. It was the iceberg spotter that he was.
Oh my god. And yes, he loves the perfect storm too.
Of course he
Oh
does.
Of
God!
course he does. Of
Yeah.
course he does.
Of
Of
course.
course he does.
Okay, at what point does Sully become a boat movie, or does it not? Does
At
it-
the end.
Oh my
Last-
god.
All right.
So, Lou, you had said you had something
Yeah,
you wanted to
I had like
cut.
you guys because they're the dad conversations. We used to go when I was a kid Thanksgiving. We go to my my dad's aunt's house, who is the mom like my godmother. So one of these Thanksgiving, the food wasn't quite ready, and her son, my dad's cousin, lived like on the apartment building across. So me and him and my dad walked over, and until the turkey was done, we watched Long Riders on Thanksgiving. Just the three of us, with my mom and sister, my godmother, and all of them were in the other apartment, like not in the same building, which is like a 3.5-hour movie.
It is. It's a 3.5-hour movie, and its big selling point was it's all
the brothers. They're all
It's
actual
all- yeah.
brothers.
It's all
So it's
brothers,
the
but
Ke-
it's all
it's
the
the
brothers that
Keaches.
you know. Like,
It's
yeah,
the Keaches. It's what's his name from Kung Fu and Revenge of the Nerds. Their family.
yes, it's the Carradines. It's
The Carradines, the Keaches. There's another set of brothers, and then one of the bad guys who are brothers in real life, like in the historically, are also
those
brothers.
are the directors. He's
The ones
in
who
Christmas Vacation for like a minute. As like the snobby couple next door. I can't remember his fucking name.
with Juliet Lewis.
He's gone on to
Julie
direct a bunch
Louis-Dreyfus.
of like
Yeah.
movies. The dude has directed a bunch of like comedy movies. Like
But to just go like if Connor's dad is boats movies, my dad's stuff was like anything that was made by someone who was Hispanic, for obvious reasons, and westerns or mob movies. I have seen pretty much every mob movie and every western that exists. I saw Bronx Tale like I think in the theaters, and I have seen that movie like 35,000 times.
Jesus.
My
Is
dad
that the
saw it on Broadway.
Okay,
Oh,
so
wow.
I gotta get this in too. So my dad's other favorite movie, and he named his boat "Dances with Waves." If it just
Oh god damn
or
it!
he
Of
I just
course
wanna
your
give it
dad likes.
away. He fucking loves Dances with Wolves,
Braveheart.
and I have to be on and Braveheart. Oh my god, and Braveheart.
Eric,
He
that,
fucking
that was a
loves
solid
Braveheart.
joke. I have
He loves Braveheart.
Dude, Braveheart's legit though. Dances with Wolves is trash.
I
Whoa,
kind of like
whoa.
Dances
I
with
don't know if
Wolves. Hey, yeah,
I
like
like that
Ah,
movie. It's
Dances
funny
with
that
That's a
I
very
can't
pleasant
with
movie.
either of those.
it's
I can't.
fine.
No.
There
So
are other
I like
fun,
Logan.
Here's the thing. I like Dances with Wolves. That's a good transition. I like Dances with Wolves because like, as opposed to like The Last Samurai, which feels a little egregious. Like, I'm like, this is a guy
it's
who gets to
less
like
white savior.
No, he's
Yeah.
not a white savior though. He's kind of like he just hangs around, just watches it all go down, and then like he kind of like gets dragged in, and usually gets his fucking ass kicked, and then he gets killed
Yeah.
by his own countrymen, and the Indians come and save his ass. I'm like, okay.
Well, it's so reductive. I saw the same story in Avatar.
wow, pulling a Chris Smith. He's with us in spirit.
Oh,
Oh.
no, I kind of like it, and like it doesn't end with anything heroic. He's like, I have to leave now because like I cause a big old fucking problem, and like I don't know. I think it's just it's a cool account of a guy like witnessing this like this other culture kind of being like just beat up on both ends, and then like he gets to experience like firsthand like what kind of fucking like savages his own people can be.
Yeah, I think it's like a weird. Maybe it's like I never really dug Costner, and I'm trying to think if there's a movie I really enjoy him in.
That's, you're actually right, Lou, for me too, because I think about it and I'm like, I liked everything else about the movie except for his acting in it.
Like
Like,
Robin
Like I
Hood,
say,
yeah, Robin Hood.
like Robin Hood, exactly. He's there. Like that could be anybody
Yeah.
else.
Well, he's the only one not speaking with an English accent too.
Yeah.
and because like his face is all over that fucking movie, like I almost can't imagine it with anybody else because I'm like that movie is so tied to his identity, it's ridiculous.
Mhm.
Like,
You know what
and,
else
like,
it
I
is?
forget that Morgan Freeman's in that movie frequently.
Yeah.
You know what else it is? Is that like it also one of his biggest movies comes out at the same time as a movie that's the exact same movie, and he's the worst. He's in the worst movie, and he's the downfall of that movie because he's in
What?
Wyatt Earp and Tombstone,
Oh,
and like
yeah.
Kurt Russell is so much fucking better than him.
Well, it's
as
because it's
playing
Kurt
Wyatt Earp.
fucking Russell. And
Yeah,
it's
and
two
I'll-
different
yeah.
types of movies they're going
No, it's
for.
two
Yeah.
different types of movies.
Like
but it's
even
also,
like the Wyatt Earp movie is meant to be like a complete story of Wyatt Earp's life. They're just different approaches. They were compared
Yeah.
because subject matter, really, more than anything. And also one, I guess Redford was gonna be in that he was gonna be in Tombstone for a while.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
As
yeah, that
who?
almost happened. He was gonna be Wyatt Earp. He was gonna be
That-
Wyatt Earp in Tombstone. He brought in the writer
Wow.
and the director of that movie.
Wow.
Okay, that
Um,
explains
That would have
why
been
it's- yeah.
that would have been a way different movie if you take
Oh, yeah.
Russell out of it.
But it evolved. Things changed. He ended up getting out of it. Kurt Russell jumped on, and then that director had to be fired after like a week because he was just not making the same movie.
Well,
Or he didn't know what he was
there's-
doing.
There's so much fucking talent in that movie. Like
Mhm.
that movie is so fucking good.
Yeah,
Goddamn,
but that's-
Powers Booth is fucking great in that movie.
But that's the thing. I would say Tombstone is a great bunch of like, not to be reductive, but mid-tier actors. Like they're all really
Right.
good at
Oh,
their
yeah.
craft.
Every-
But
it's
you
the-
put you
right.
put a
it's
Re-
a
you put
combination
a
of the best
Redford
character actors.
you put
Mhm.
Redford in there with like Val Kilmer and these other people, and
Sure.
he's gonna act them out of the fucking water. Like,
Well, I
it
would
be-
go.
See,
Hmm?
I think
I would
think
step
he's
back
good
from
enough
that
to
with one
lift.
thing. I would say that Kilmer is like the big
Kilmer-
gun in that movie
Yeah.
in terms of acting
Kilmer-
ability. Like,
Yeah.
That's the Kilmer movie. If I was going to show
Mhm.
anybody, like, that is one of the two movies. If I was going to be like, this is what Val Kilmer was, that's one of the two
but
movies. I
even
would show
then,
them.
like what absolutely like stunning Val Kilmer movie like that falls into a dramatic role has he ever done? And that's what I mean. Like Val Kilmer is great. Like, do not
Goes
get me
into
wrong.
darkness.
No,
I was gonna say,
so here's the
that's
thing.
walking a
I
line
would
because
That's my
that is
other one.
that's a
I would
thriller, it's
say
a
that
horror, it's a like
yeah.
it's a fucking like it's a
I-
monster
Yes.
movie.
I would say Val Kilmer never got his shot to really be like a leading man the way that
He did.
Yeah.
He just fucked it up.
No,
Being
yeah, that's what
Val
I'm
Kilmer.
saying. Like he never
Yeah.
got it to work, he never found a project that really fit him. I think
No.
the closest he got was maybe that
The Saint.
it's like the Saint. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. I think the Saint is
Yeah,
the
I think
closest
it
he got
is.
to finding something that really fit him as an actor, fit him as a performer.
That was him. I would say the Saint or oddly like Batman. Like that's him trying to do a big movie. And I like him in both. Like
I
they're
mean,
both goofy, but like I like them.
the only reason I rule out Batman is because I've heard him talk about how much he hated the experience.
Yeah.
And
Well,
how
there
just
was
didn't
so
work for
much
him.
other shit going on. The Schumacher of it
Mhm.
all. Tommy Lee Jones phoning it in.
Well, also for those that haven't
So
seen the
I
it's random
Kilmer
cannot
Dog,
abide
for those that haven't seen the Kilmer Dog, he talks about how like I wasn't really acting. I just let the suit do most of the work for me because I couldn't emote.
Well, he's not wrong though. But
Yeah.
his scenes as Bruce are good. Like of
No, they are
the
good.
three guys of that era, he does the most Bruce stuff that's not horrible or insane.
Or
I
just
mean, he does a
Michael
good
Keaton
job, and
spends
it's
so much time brooding in the first two fucking Batman
Mhm.
movies
Oh
that
my
like
God.
you barely hear him talk.
No, but then when
Yeah.
he does talk, do you guys remember the scenes like, oh, let's get crazy, let's get nuts,
Yeah,
and then he gets
it's-
shot?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
that's crazy.
Well, because there's like a level of I'm in a movie with Jack Nicholson, so I have to
Yep.
Outact him.
Jack
Yeah, I
Nicholson.
think this actually came up when we did our review of it. Was just that like it was definitely a power struggle, I think, between the two of them, whether Nicholson realized it or not. Shit, I forget. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say was I didn't get to mention, but like it's so weird hearing about like all of your dad's like almost singular focus on things in weird ways, because my dad is the one who's like, hey, let's go see the Karate Kid, hey, let's go see Aliens, hey, let's go see Critters. Like he was
Oh.
bringing me to a little bit of everything when I was growing up.
Well, and
So
that's the thing. It's like my dad's his interests were so hyper focused, but for some reason, like he'd still bring me home like, "Hey, here's Reanimator and the original Night of the Living Dead. Have fun," and just walk away. Like for some reason, he knew he was like, "I'm gonna give this, I'm gonna plant all this shit in this kid. He's gonna love. He just doesn't know it yet." And he just kept doing it. And he was the only one between my mom and my dad who was like really invested in like what I would be fucking super into years later. For some reason, I don't know what it was.
See,
well,
I
yeah,
think
I was just
go
gonna say,
ahead.
yeah, with my dad, like my parents live 7 hours away from me, so I don't really talk to him as much as I probably should. And I know you're probably familiar with that too, Connor, being that you're
Yeah.
all the way on the other side of the country. But like even when my dad and I email each other, like it's normally like, hey, did you watch this? Oh, I think you'll like this, and he'll be like, well, I didn't like this, and this about it. I thought this was good. Like he just recently sent me an email saying like, if you get a chance, check out the Oat Studio shorts that are on Netflix. I'm like, oh yeah, I saw those years ago. Like I loved Zygote. I loved Firebase. And
Okay.
he's like, yeah, he liked a lot of them. He thought some of them were a little
Good.
odd for his taste, and then he's like, he really liked the God ones.
Did he like the Giant? Did he find the Giant as amusing as I find the Giant?
We didn't go over all of them, but like he just mentioned in passing that like he liked the two that I mentioned. And he also liked the God one.
So
I like all of them, but I like bringing up the Giant because it's just completely out of nowhere, and it's only like 2 minutes, and it's just this Giant coming in and like smashing a woman or something.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. I need to go back and watch them.
I want to say
there was a movie that my dad came out of the blue. When I was home, he told me, he's like, "Yeah, I watched it. Really loved it. Batman vs Superman."
tell your dad no, and then he's
Yeah.
canceled.
Yeah.
Well,
What-
I
wait,
said, I was like,
was
'cause
there-
I said, he had asked me about Justice League. I was like, "Oh, it's because he wanted to know what it was." He was like, "What's going on with that?" So I explained it to him, and he was like, "Oh," I was like, "It's out. Just watch it." I'm like, "You probably don't need to watch Batman vs Superman." And he's like, "Sure, whatever." And he tried, and he said he just couldn't get into Justice League, so he just watched Batman vs Superman like on his own time and loved it, and then watched Justice League.
I could understand that, but you guys just triggered something in me. I don't know if it's like with my dad or your guys. There's an actor that my dad hyper focused on that is so random, but I got to see pretty much like all of his movies. And that is Dennis Hopper.
Oh
Whoa.
no.
Yeah,
Oh.
because I think my dad really connected with. Oh my god, what the fuck is the motorcycle
King
movie?
Koopa?
No, the one that he's very famous for when he's a kid.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's the one with Fonda in it as well.
Yeah, Peter Fonda. Yeah.
Wow, my brain
Like-
went to Rumblefish, and that is not the same movie.
No,
that's
it's when they're in
no-
their 20s. Like my dad was like, because my dad's super old. Like he's let's see, I'm sorry. He's like he's like 72 right now, so he's like Eric's age.
Yeah.
But like besides all those mob movies and stuff like that, he randomly, even though I don't know what the fuck is going on in the background,
The
some
dog
is-
noises
was-
in the background makes
Those
Sorry.
are
it
the cats,
perfect.
aren't they?
No, that's our Malamute chasing the cats who have decided that they want to be awake right now and run around. And the movie was Easy Rider.
Easy
is what
Rider,
it-
yeah.
yeah.
So like,
Mm.
but like I also had, and it's fun. This is a funny podcast to be like for this, but like he would randomly, like he would. I think my movie habits, oh my god, come from him. But like my mom never sat down and watched a movie, which like drives me crazy. She was always like sitting down and then go and doing stuff. I'm like, no, you gotta like sit and watch. And when we would watch movies, he would sit and watch, and we watched like all this fucking crazy shit. And like he would buy like random DVDs or VHSs at Walmart, and like we just like, oh no, this looks fucking wild. Let's check it out. Like we never went to the movies because of the way he worked. But that's like the only thing. Like we were watching insane shit.
My mom is the same way too. Like the only thing is though, like I think like 2 weeks ago, my mom texted me. She goes, "We went and saw Free Guy last night, and she really liked it." And I was like, "What the fuck?"
That's a perfect mom movie.
Because
I wanna
it's
say my-
mom porn.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
mother is the same way, or she has been. Lately, she's been better about like trying to actually sit down and watch movies. But whenever I bring up anything from like, I don't know, 1995, I want to say, to 2015, she doesn't know the movie, so I've had to like fill in a lot of gaps with movies.
How old were you during that time period?
During that entire time.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Well,
when
were you
Yeah.
born in '95?
I was born in '94, so I think that explains
So-
quite a bit.
Yeah, it's
Um,
Melissa and I have had that conversation in the past when I'm like shocked that she hasn't seen something, and she's like, "I was raising children at that point. I
Mhm.
couldn't exactly go out to
I
the
think-
theater."
know, like,
I think that's the explanation, because when I asked my mom about movies made from 1990 to 1994, she knows all of them.
Yeah.
She knows
Well,
so
I
many
think
of
that's-
them by heart.
I think that's like a weird thing at the time because like being a new dad is like, and again the baby's little, but like we
Mhm.
watched like half of the MCU when my mother-in-law was here, like in that time period.
Right.
It's different time. It's different
Yeah.
Yeah.
availability of stuff at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, like
Um,
and I understand. Like there's no way I can see anything in the theater right now. I'm so
No.
mad that I have to wait like another
Right.
2 weeks to see Shang-Chi, and
Shang-Chi.
like
Mhm.
drives me
Yeah.
crazy. But like,
There are other things also. Like I think age also kind of freezes people out of certain things, and
oh, for sure.
I've brought it up many times, but like Eminem still having a porn closet, like it's just like
Wait, what?
What?
Wait. What are
Expectations
you
that you
talking?
have.
Who has a porn closet?
Arlen's pop culture like touchstones are so bizarre and random
They're
sometimes.
weird.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sorry,
Like,
I'm aware. I
girl who
can't
supposed to play
unlearn.
Mary Jane in the Amazing Spider-Man movies didn't do it because she had all that hair washing money, and
Yeah.
Eminem's porn closet.
Yeah.
No, he has no. Okay, I think it's an episode of Cribs. It's like I don't know how old it is.
Harlan, when was the last
Oh,
time
this
Cribs
makes
was on
sense now.
TV?
I think
What's
will
weird
try-
is I know someone.
2002.
I went
no,
to high
because
school
I
with
know
someone
that they
was
tried to
on
do like a
Cribs.
revival of Cribs at some point. I don't remember when this was, but there was a revival. But one of the things that I know is like Hunter was saying is a touchstone. Is I know that there's an episode of Cribs, and I've seen the clip. I've gone back and watched it, where you can see that Eminem has a closet full of DVDs of an adult content variety, And what's notable about it is that this clip is from a time where the internet existed. It clearly
He just
existed.
Well,
he
are
just
you sure
really
do you think he just did it just to like fuck with the MTV thing
no.
though?
I think he just owns a bunch of porn DVDs.
I think he does. I think he does.
I
Absolutely.
think he grew up in a time period where getting him on DVD was of high, of high
Yes,
importance.
Of value.
exactly. And this is the point. Like, and
That's the
I
comedian when he
only know
really is
about
rich.
this. I know about this because there are many like old cracked articles that come up where they talk about how celebrities are frozen in the moments that they got famous. So there's things like Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston doesn't understand the internet, um, because people will ask her questions about social media, and she's like, "Yeah, I have Facebook. I totally use it all the time." And she'll say things that have nothing to do with Facebook. She'll describe like emailing people. Um,
Well,
uh,
I get that. I guess if you're at a certain level of fame, that like,
I think that
why do
I
you
think
give a
that
fuck?
everybody has that to some degree, though. Is what I'm saying. Like, I think once you get to a certain point in your life, you just
Otis,
stop.
I'm
I
sorry,
think
it's so
Like
funny.
there's a race
I-
going on in your house. Like
it really, it's
Again.
like it's
She's
like
being
there's
terrible.
it's like there's a mush going on. It's just like
Yeah,
It
that's
sounds like
that's
like
not
a dog
Otis.
camp
That's
Uh,
yeah,
Ripley.
Ripley. It
And
on
sounds like a
Dancer,
dog camp
on
disciple.
it also doesn't help that we have like 3,
Hardwood
4-month-old kittens and hardwood
Uh,
floors. So yeah, they're absolutely insane right now.
See, like my
Um,
dog was different. When she heard me talking, she looked at me, and there was a pillow on the couch, and then she just knocked it over.
right. But Lou, go buy a couple of kittens and see how things change.
dude,
Let
like,
me
No,
but,
it's
tell
like, we
you.
okay.
have
I have a
Butters
puppy
here,
and a
like,
baby. We're
Butters is
fine.
like 2. Butters is still a fucking nightmare. God damn, he's a fucking annoying.
See, no, what happens is with the puppy and the baby stuff, like they have like a bin of like birth cloths because babies are gross and they're just drooling and spitting up. And my wife went to go do something and came back, and then the bin was on the floor, and the dog was laying in a circle of all of them because she had been throwing them in the air. And we're just like, ha, this is what happens when you don't give me the attention.
I mean,
Otis is catatonic while this shit is going on.
I love it so much. But no, so Lou, there's also the fact that
Fantastic picture.
animals like scents. Also, I think that might be part of it. Is
Oh no, yeah.
Rose is trying to bond with the new
No.
sibling.
Her and the baby are bonded. This was a more of, you're not allowed to leave me alone. I'm a pandemic
Sure.
puppy.
You son
I
of a
am
bitch.
mhm.
I am beyond codependent. I am next level.
I am your
Parasitic.
god now.
I simply am.
So
Like she sleeps in the bed. She like will cry, and I have to lift up the cover so she can go underneath the covers.
Speaking of parasitic things, hey Hunter, what did you think of that final reveal of Smash?
Oh, I mean,
yeah. Now Sakurai
awesome.
can turn into a pile of dust and blow
Now-
away forever.
now Sakurai can let him out of his dungeon. They can
Mhm.
release the chains and let him go relax before they drag him back in.
He's like finally, and he just gets decapitated. Like
No, they're not going to decapitate him. They'll give him his 4 hours of sunlight and then throw him back in the Smash Brothers dungeon.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you guys weren't aware, Hunter, did you want to say who the reveal was?
So it's Sora. It was always going to be Sora. Like there was no doubt in my mind that he was going to be not in the game.
I don't play or strictly follow this game, but like I do follow like the lore around it, I guess, and like or at least like the releases and the character announcements, and like this was the first one where I was like, huh.
I just thought of something. The best Final Smash would be if he just pulled out every edition of Kingdom Hearts to just hit the person with.
Well, the name of his
it works like 12 Knights of the Round from Final Fantasy 7, like just one
6 hours long.
Yeah, one at a time. He pulls out. He pulls out a copy
every
and slaps
edition
you
of Kingdom Hearts.
It's funny though, because like this is the one where it's like, oh, they actually pulled off something huge. Like this was.
Oh, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I guarantee. Go ahead, Hunter.
Like
I was just
the rights involved in getting Sora into anything is insane.
Well, that's the thing, because like I imagine they've been working on this since they started announcing DLC characters, because it's not like Sora exists in just this void of Square Enix. Like Disney has to own part of him.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah,
means
Kingdom
they
Hearts
had
is
to work with
lucrative as
Disney.
fuck.
Yeah. But well, I mean, even in the the video that was, showing who he was, or the reveal video, like it focuses on the Mickey medallion on the end of his Keyblade.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And
that cost them a lot of money.
That's the only thing that is translated over from Disney that's in Smash Brothers too. Like Mickey's not there, Donald and Goofy are not there. It's just the Keyblade and a skin that looks like Steamboat Willie. That's about it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's just crazy.
Yeah, because
to
if
me.
anything, you're gonna pick the one that's like kind of racist, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
just the way you phrase how like Sora exists, like he doesn't just exist in that square bubble. Like I had to think about like now Cloud and Sephiroth technically also exist specifically in one instance where you'd have to get Disney to cooperate to have them show up anywhere.
No, on that I don't think so.
Not
Because
you want to use the design from Kingdom Hearts for Cloud.
Yeah, if you wanted to like
Disney, then be like, ho 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 ho.
If you wanted to do his like his nobody or like stuff like that, you probably would.
I think it's a smart move for Disney though.
I think this is like the start of them being like cooler about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they're like, let us get into the nerddom of the games. Like this is an untapped market that we haven't really done anything yet.
I honestly surprised Sora is not in the parks anywhere.
Yeah.
At this point, because like that will get people in the park.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of weirdos who love that game. So yeah.
I mean, I'm a weirdo who likes those games. So yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, but there's a difference between people who like those games. I like those games.
Yeah.
And the people who love those games.
Yeah.
Who can tell you all 14 and a half sequels to this game and recite them in order
Yeah,
and tell you exactly what they mean contextually.
They bought the 7 different versions of Kingdom Hearts 2 and the 12 of Kingdom Hearts 3, right?
Here's the thing: is I could sit here. I know stuff, but I don't know everything. Like
I literally only know one title to one game because
I know bits and pieces of the story. I know kind of how I know some of the larger universe. Like I understand, like on a baseline level, like Heartless versus Nobodies, and like
versus kind of, Unversed.
Unversed. You're speaking gibberish,
and you've lost me.
Well, all right.
I know the title Dream
characters have to each other, like all this stuff like that.
Well, you realize that like the characters Nobodies, they all have an X in their name, and it's like a variation
like
of
Roxas,
their name.
Zemnis,
and it's Sora just with an X in there, which I guarantee, like Roxas, that doesn't actually even translate to Roxas. It's probably Ro cross As, something like that.
And it's funny, the ones that are kind of like eventually, spoiler alert, become good guys, they don't actually have X's in their names.
Yeah.
I like Kingdom Hearts. I'm glad he's in the game. Like it's just
I have never disliked Kingdom Hearts as a game. I think it's really saturated.
It is.
When I played, I greatly enjoyed. I think I remember finishing the first game at least.
The thing is, like,
I finished the first 2.
I think the saturation is. I think Nomura just really loves Kingdom Hearts, and he just wants to explain stuff because, like, there's like a tech demo that explains why Mickey was dressed a certain way in a prologue.
Jesus Christ!
Yep.
And I think he just really likes this series, and he
imagine
just wants
like doing this for Twin Peaks. Like,
I want that.
I want to know who he has pictures of at Square that they're just like, all right, yeah, fine, just please don't reveal.
You know
those.
What it is? It makes so much fucking money. That's the reason why.
Well, like they have to pay Disney. It's got to be like some huge chunk of change for that shit. Right?
At a certain point, it doesn't matter. I think it's just they make so much money off it. It doesn't matter.
Well, I wonder if like having the 2 point whatever or 3 point whatever like means like, well, it's not technically a new game, so we're still into the same agreement.
Well,
I don't know if it's that.
I'm wondering if they just hashed out a price in the very beginning.
Maybe.
And like maybe revisited it after the second one, and then nothing has happened for so long.
And said like, this concept will exist in perpetuity. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, they very clearly have rights to his likeness. because it's like they had to like because Sakurai said that like they were working on this since the 3DS game came out.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's
But yeah.
cool. I'm excited. I'm glad
Yeah.
Smash is over, so I don't have to hear idiots talk about it anymore.
How are they going to make enough? Is this basically there's no
This is
more
the
Smashes
this
after
has to be the last one. They have the only way they can make another game like this. It can't be a fighting game.
No,
like,
because like
it's
what
over.
else are they going to
Then,
do?
like,
Like
after this
add
is
the
just
other
more of
big
the fucking
names?
same. Like, because
I was
Master
saying,
Chief in it.
I think it should be a tactical RPG next. I think that'd be
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
that would be
yeah.
interesting.
Kid Icarus would
How
win
about
all the
a
fights for
point
me.
and
I
click
weirdly
adventure
think that would-
game? How's about
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
I weirdly
Like
think a tactical RPG might be more complicated to pull off with like the different owners of shit.
Well, I mean, I don't. When I say that, I'm saying don't bring everybody back again because I really
Yeah.
don't think they can. Just like
no, I think if
just-
you're gonna do that, you should probably open the doors to more like here's
like
character-
Nintendo
like,
characters.
Nintendo characters or game or and if you're gonna do guest characters that you're gonna like if you do some kind of rollout like that, whole like this is the protagonist from Legend of fucking Dragoon or something.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Or
Like,
like, here are characters from fucking Chrono Cross or Chrono Trigger.
It should be like they could very easily get Microsoft characters. They won't ever
Yep.
do it, but they could.
Yeah.
Like it.
I can't remember. Has a Castlevania character ever showed up?
Yeah, there's
Simon
there's
Domas.
two. There's two of them.
Oh,
There's
really?
Richter and Simon. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize
okay.
Richter was.
But
in it,
imagine
too.
having
Okay.
Yeah.
like them getting like a bunch of Final Fantasy characters like
I don't know. I
well,
don't know
not
how.
like, not Cloud. Not
They have
like
they have
Barret,
72
like
different
other
Fire
characters,
Emblem
like
characters.
Kefka,
Yeah,
something like other
they
characters
could-
like that.
They could very easily get like Noctis and stuff. Like
Yeah.
because like Square Enix has a very good working relationship with Nintendo.
Mhm.
It's
Like the lesser
it's-
characters. I mean,
yeah, like they can get guest characters. Not I'm saying
You
like,
know, they should
if
get,
they
like-
want to make a first party crossover again,
Yes.
it should be like a tactical RPG or something like
Yes.
See, I think it'd be way more fun if they got like characters like some rare characters in there or like Battle
Yeah.
Toads. Like, let's go
Okay.
like
that. It's funny you mention that because like all of those rare games are supposedly coming to the Switch. Because Banjo-Kazooie is coming to Switch and like
John gets
wanna-
his wish and Croc
Don't.
is in Smash Brothers.
Please, no.
fucking The Legend of the Gabos.
This will never happen.
I want the Gabos to come.
See,
I
you
just-
said Gabos, and I thought you said Yabos, and I was thinking, like,
Yabos?
oh, good connection.
I learned about
See-
that last Thursday. It's funny.
Yes,
I
I,
went-
saw your
I went-
post.
I want Kickle Cubicle to come back.
Yes.
Actually, didn't Kojima have something to do with one of those games? Like a very early like Nintendo puzzle game?
he
You know,
I know he did stuff after I know he did NES stuff after Snatcher and stuff, I think.
Okay.
Not Snatcher. What the fuck is that game called?
Metal Gear.
No, Police
Police
Time?
Not.
Metal
Yes,
Police
Police
Gear.
Time. Yes.
I
you know what'd be-
I think
you
it
know
was an
what'd be fun?
MSX game.
What if they
Yeah.
did a Smash with all character, like dead franchise characters, like Gex?
Here's the thing. That could work. Like that
Well,
could
that
be
was
a thing.
they already did that. It was PlayStation All Stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, what if they did it with money?
Wow, Arlen fucking chuckled. What a
Man.
fucking dunk.
There's
Hmm.
a great
Mostly because PlayStation All Stars, RIP. Damn.
yeah, dude. You'll make Emmett mad if we keep punching down at it.
Hey, you know, Kratos still exists.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
Right.
great what
Okay, Lucia
happened
doesn't,
on
motherfucker.
PlayStation All-Stars. Well,
What about
I just want a
Congress?
fighting game where I could play.
sometimes dead is better.
Yeah.
Watch Onimusha?
Yeah,
No, I don't want more
sometimes
Onimusha.
it is better.
Sometimes dead is better.
I miss
Such for
Onimusha.
Croc and the Gabos.
You know what would be really funny as a character in like a Smash type game where everything is cartoon is to bring in like a
Doom guy.
Yakuza character.
Yes,
yes.
actually.
Yes.
Like somebody
would-
that's from a hyper realistic world.
Majima with
Oh
his
my
knives.
God.
I would just like to see Kiryu beat like Mario to death with a bike.
If they did that, it would work. Like honestly.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
especially if he did what's his name, Kasuga. Like Kasuga would fit.
Oh, yeah.
perfectly.
Like
Mhm.
any of those really care. I think Any of the side characters really work, like Akiyama and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But
Yeah.
no one would know who they are because those games never came out in the West until
BJ
later.
Blazkowicz could be in it. And
Yeah.
his smash would be like he cuts his own head off, cuts their head off, and puts his
And then
head
he
in
just-
their body.
And then he has a cool
there's-
one-liner.
Yeah.
But
Well,
there's so
Hunter-
many characters you can
and he has
do.
he has a flashback to his dog being killed by his dad.
Dude, I played that game recently. That still dad is the worst character in any game ever.
His dad and Senua's dad from Hellblade are in a competition to be the gaming's worst dads.
It's so
Hunter,
so
if you're worried about people not knowing the characters in the West, you know what you do. You cast Chris Pratt to play them.
Oh my god! I
In
was
adaptation.
wondering if we were gonna get there.
Did you see?
You know, like when Eric said like a bunch of like good middle of the road actors, like I thought about that movie and I was like, no, because some of those guys are really good, and then Chris Pratt's the middle of them all.
It's the weird part. Is Chris
Yeah.
Pratt is the worst one out of all of them.
Yeah.
Well, it's Chris Pratt's in this weird space. Like, does anyone remember? I feel like it was like 5 years ago when like there were 17 movies that Chris Pratt was like, "Oh, he's gonna do this," and everyone was hyped for.
And that never
No, I
came out.
remember.
They never happened.
Well, I think it's also like that stuff never happened, and all the news about the church he's affiliated with came out.
Oh, yeah.
That happened, and then
Because
a
wasn't
lot of the
he was-
movies.
Go ahead, Arlen.
I was gonna say a lot of the movies he put out either weren't very good, or they weren't super well received.
Yeah, anything outside of Guardians and Jurassic Park has not done well.
Yeah, what the fuck is that
Yeah.
weird ass Space Stalker movie he was in?
Oh, Space Rapist?
Oh,
right.
fuck! I forgot about that. The one with Jennifer.
What?
What's her face?
Lawrence?
Yes.
Jennifer Lawrence, yeah.
Mhm.
Wait, hold on. You're gonna have to explain that because you can't
Space
just say
creepo.
space rapist and then.
He
Oh.
basically
It's the one where
It's
they're
just-
like in
Oh, what the fuck is
cryopods
it?
or
It's
whatever.
not-
Yeah.
it's not
He
Flight
wakes her-
Plan or
he-
whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. It's like a thing. He actually gets woken up. Some shit happens. He's like, "Well,
Passenger.
I'm lonely." Passenger.
That's
So then he wakes
Passenger.
Jennifer Lawrence up and says like, "Oh, there was a malfunction. We both woke up." And he spends like a year by himself,
That's
And it's
bugged.
like-
Yeah.
and then wakes her up
Yeah.
because he's lonely.
Why would
and
you
then-
make this movie?
Yeah,
I
and then
know.
it's
Why
like a
didn't he just?
reveal.
Why didn't he just look at her through her pod and masturbate like any normal human would do?
Yeah. Well, the
Oh.
first problem is she's in space. Let's get that.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah, they were
That-
trying to.
Mhm.
It's almost like the beginning of Mass Effect Andromeda, except that it's like they're going to go start a colony.
It's
Or
like
some
Moon
shit.
almost, like a little bit. Like it's this
Right.
dude just up there by himself, but then he gets like.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he's. I
Mhm.
don't want to say anymore because that'll spoil the Moon
Yeah.
if you haven't
Yeah, I'm
seen
not
it yet,
talking
which you
about
should.
Right.
And-
No, I was going to say, actually, Hunter, it's possible that she's in space because she was frozen on Earth before she got sent to
True.
space.
Right.
So-
if she wasn't
I-
frozen, she'd explode as soon as she got the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Exactly.
isn't
Yeah,
his like? Didn't he do? Was it an Amazon movie or was it?
Yes,
Apple
he did
movie?
do it recent. No, it was Amazon movie.
Oh,
It was Amazon. I heard it's bad.
Future
War?
Future War is a Daniel Bernhardt movie that's on Mission Science Theater.
Future Fight.
Tomorrow War.
Tomorrow. Oh, I'm sorry. Future War
Oh.
and Tomorrow War are very far different.
That movie I
Tomorrow
kept,
War.
kept
I
seeing on
honestly couldn't
TikTok.
tell you- I couldn't tell you which one was the Sci-Fi Channel version of the other between Future War and Tomorrow War.
Tomorrow War. Hey, I don't know. Future War was an independent film from
Which-
the 80s.
If I did a
With
game and
Robert
said
Zadar.
guess the asylum picture, and I said Future War or Tomorrow War, you would get it wrong.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
both.
honestly.
They're both
Yep.
asylum films.
Yes, that's the correct
They
answer.
both sound like the knockoff of fucking Edge of Tomorrow. Like,
Yes.
Yes,
they
no,
do.
yes, literally. Which they don't even want to use that title. Didn't they change it to like Live, Die, Repeat?
They
Oh,
they
God.
definitely pumped that aspect of the title up more than the
I think-
actual name of the movie.
No, I think
Mhm.
at one point they actually changed
Well,
it to Edge of
did.
Tomorrow: colon,
Do you
Live,
know-
Die,
They
Repeat.
did,
I think they
but
did.
for the DVD release, for like the later on, they made it part of the title, and then it was on. Both were there, and they've just like made Live, Die, Repeat the bigger part of.
Do you know the extra weirdness about the titles? About like what the actual like light novel is called?
all you need is kill.
It-
Yeah,
it's
so
all you need is kill,
is
yeah.
kill. So it's like
Which is such a
they
good
couldn't.
title.
It is. They should have just used that.
Wait,
they should've.
wait. It's a Japanese. It's based on a Japanese
Yeah,
thing.
it's
or?
a
It's
light
a
novel.
Japanese book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
getting more.
It's
into,
really
like,
good.
like Japanese and Korean like web stuff. So
Yeah,
You
it's really
should,
good.
you should, all of you actually should, if you get the chance, is read the book Battle Royale that the movie was based on.
Oh, I've
The
floated that
book
idea.
is so
Yeah.
good.
I saw it. I don't remember what, like, I think it was in school. I think it was in a local library or something. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I should read this, and I never did.
Yeah.
Now I
No,
regret
it's
it.
really good. I've read it a couple
I will
times.
read it once I finish Dune, which I'm
Okay.
swearing to myself I will finish before the movie comes out. I have 12 hours left in my audiobook. I'm gonna finish it this week.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
you know, actually, you could actually get that done. I thought you were reading it hard copy for a second.
No,
No,
no, no.
Yeah.
The voice acting in the audiobook is really good. I like it.
The thing is, though, the novel, quote unquote, because it's only like 300 or 400 pages, if I remember correctly. It's
No,
not
it's like
that
I think
long.
it's like a 35-hour book, audiobook,
Yeah.
which isn't bad.
Uh,
The history of James Bond was like an 80-hour book, and I'm like
I mean,
30 hours
Good
into it, and
God.
I was like, I need
the
to
Dune
pause.
book is no The Stand, but it is still pretty big.
I will never
no,
read The Stand. I read the Marvel adaptation, which was really good.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Dune is. Oh no, that's Children of Dune page count. Sorry, I'm just
Okay.
trying to find.
No, it's 412.
412.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
think I was
really,
thinking of this. I was thinking of the sequels, which are all
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a
yeah,
little
like
bit
Children.
I think I'm
Children
like,
of Dune is 444 pages, so
yeah,
it
I think I'm
jumps
over.
exponentially.
I'm a little over halfway done with it, and I'm because I think it's like 30 some hours.
Mm.
And I'm a
Yeah.
psychopath, so I listen at like speed.
I mean, you can get that
more.
done in the next 2 weeks. Are they still putting
Yeah.
that on the HBO? I can't remember.
Yeah, they are.
Yes,
They
yes,
are.
yes.
Yeah.
Because
And
this is the only reason why Warner Brothers is like on my like I'm happy about them list.
yeah,
Mm.
and Arlen, I was thinking of Dune Messiah. That's only 256 pages. Like that's the
I
Oh,
see.
that's like
thin
nothing.
one. Yeah, that's the second.
256
book.
is nothing. I
Yeah,
just
that's
read
the second
that.
book in the series. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
super quick, and it definitely feels more like a, all right, this is what you guys wanted, before it
Yeah.
goes
Oh,
into the
Which is,
strangeness.
you know what? This is a funny like segue into the last two things we talked about because I finished the Old Man Star-Lord podcast, the kind of combined audiobooks and Chris Pratt. Did not really like it. I love the Wolverine ones. This was
Yeah.
wonky. It was real. Vanessa Williams is amazing. What's his name is in
Right.
it too.
I mean, I'm
Danny
sure
Glover
they
is in
did
it.
like an
He's
old
great.
man Star-Lord. Like
It's
the
weird.
comic was good. I actually really enjoyed
Okay.
Old Man Star-Lord.
I think the problem is the
I take
voice
your word
actor
on that.
isn't the voice actor isn't great and the pacing is terrible.
The voice
Well,
actor for Old
yeah.
Man Star-Lord sounds like a doddering old man.
It's I can't. He's a character actor that's
And
been in
there
a
I
million
was.
things.
Yes. No, you joke, but that's almost exactly what he sounds like to me.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm Star
Nah.
Lord. Hello.
Because
I'm-
Rocket
always-
Let
is
me activate my rocket
I
boots.
feel like
Rocket is
I feel
Chris
like that
Elliott,
goes against Star
right?
Wars.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, okay,
Rocket's
Chris Elliott. Chris Elliott works though. I mean, if
No,
they were
he's
making
good.
like
No,
a Guardians movie like 20 years ago, I would have cast Chris Elliott easily. That's
Yeah.
that's
It's
not bad.
the
Yeah.
voice actor for Star Lord is Timothy Busfield. I'm gonna post a picture of him. He's a character actor that's been in a million things, but he's very fine.
Yeah.
And it's just like it is so.
Oh, so he would have been in Tombstone.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're
it
making me
is-
think of the voice actor for Raziel in Legacy of Kain because, like, it's like I saw the guy who voices Kain. His name's Simon Templeman. He's been in TV a bunch, but like he looks like how I imagine Kain to sound. And then you get to Raziel, who's a protagonist. Raziel's voiced by a kindly old man who wears like grandma glasses with string attached to them, like that go around his neck and everything like that. Like he is like he was 75 the first time I saw him, like, and he didn't know what the fuck video games were.
It's like
Sometimes that
Yeah, that
works.
checks out.
but when you're
Yeah.
doing like a Star-Lord thing and you're joking, it just sounds like an old man who thinks he's funny. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm looking at this guy. I've seen this guy in
Yeah,
things,
he's
and that's-
He was in West Wing.
he's in
Yeah.
West Wing. He's been in a bunch of stuff. He's a big character actor. He's just like
yeah.
it's just like it is not the best story. The guy who does Craven is fine. You just have to do a Russian accent. It's just like it's such a slow paced story.
I just had a crazy thought. Like, imagine doing an audiobook of Spider-Man Reign. Like, who would you bring in?
Oh my god.
Okay, but no,
Who
they
would you
need to
bring in
do
the
that
voice?
though. I
They
need
need
it.
to do it.
I need it right now.
I need
I need
You
the
need a-
Spider-Man
you need a-
Rain
You need a separate voice
audiobook.
actor for the jizz.
Oh my god! I was not expecting that reaction, Farland.
I need it.
Well, from what I heard, like they're supposed to be doing a whole series of old man like in the same universe.
Well, okay,
There's
so
no reason not to do it.
there are a couple
supposedly,
of
Black
things that
Widow's
I
next.
need though. I need to know a few things. I need Jake Johnson, despite some of the things that we've learned about him. I need him to reprise Spider-Man and be doing an old man voice. And I need him to play every character also in this
Hear me out. Spider-Man Reign. Spider-Man is played by Gary Busey.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Sorry, MJ.
Wait.
I killed you with my love. It's just
Take my money. Take it right now.
I would
sorry,
honestly
MJ.
say,
I had to kill you.
How has no one just done a podcast with Gary Busey, just in general? Just like
I feel
record him
like-
talking.
It's really weird that Jake Busey hasn't cashed in that check because he could. He
I
could
think-
get his dad to sit down with him, and Jake Busey's a funny guy. I mean,
I think one of the problems is, from my knowledge of Gary, is that he's now very right-wing religious.
Yes.
Oh no!
Yes,
I-
he is.
Oh
I
no!
think
Yeah.
that's
Feels
the
like a
pro-
real
well,
brain damage. So
He
Yes.
has legitimate
Yeah.
brain damage.
That's
Well,
that's probably why.
That doesn't do a very good job of selling a religion to anyone now, does it?
And if you're Jake Busey, who's really struggling for jobs, I guess that wouldn't be
Hey.
the smartest choice.
Man,
Um,
and two of our he's in a movie we talked about already, Starship Troopers.
Lou, okay, Lou.
I know,
Other
that was 25 years ago.
than that most recent Predator movie, he hasn't been in anything I've seen.
I literally cannot even think of the last movie I've
No,
seen
you
Jake
cannot.
Busey in.
It's literally that Predator movie, and he's only in that movie.
I didn't
because
see
he's
that movie, so I
playing-
don't know.
Okay, but Lou, you gotta let me finish. He's only in that movie. He's only in it because his father was in Predator 2.
Yep.
It's the only reason.
yeah,
That makes
there.
sense.
But that's a good idea.
It is, but otherwise, do you think he would have been in the film?
Oh, you know what?
I'm gonna
looking?
say
I
no.
don't even remember what his character is, but apparently he was in Stranger Things.
Really?
That
fuck?
checks out. That I
I
mean,
don't remember what he played in that.
So strange. That's great you bring that up because it just made me realize, like, while Stranger Things is on, I love it. It's great. As soon as it's not on the air, I'm like, wait, what happened?
No, I forget every plot point.
I remember bits and pieces.
He's in
but-
half the season. He's in 5.
I mean,
I think he's a cop or
as
something.
as every season has gone on, I remember less and less from season to season. Like I didn't need that recap going into season 2. Going into season 4, I am going to need that recap a
Yes.
lot.
Yes.
The only thing I remember is the end, which is like the Russia thing, and that's only
Mhm.
because
Yes.
what's his name was in Black Widow.
Well,
And I'm
also
like, oh,
they've
it's
been
funny.
it's been part of the advertising. It's the only thing
first
people
cover
talk
story.
about. It's like
Yeah.
the only thing people even want to think about is what happened to I've forgotten the fucking character's
Hopper.
name.
11.
Hopper.
Well, I think
I-
here's the thing. And I'm gonna give that season a bit of credit because, like, I think making people think Hopper died for at least 5 minutes is actually pretty.
No,
Oh, I think that
was a
season's
good
actually
choice.
very fun.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the setting
Yeah,
of
I
the
think, and then, like,
mall
honestly,
is
I
great.
think season 3 is my favorite because of characters like Billy and because of the whole Hopper thing. Because, like, it's like
Yeah.
Hopper and fucking Winona Ryder's character. It's like I'm like,
Oh,
put those two together, please. My God,
yeah.
like they
I
totally
actually,
deserve it.
I love the little
mean-
sister. What's his name's little sister?
Billy,
He's a great character. No,
aka
the-
Mr. Steer Your Mom, Billy.
Yeah,
no.
see,
What's his name?
Milf Slayer Billy. Is that what you're saying?
No, not Billy's little sister. The little black girl.
Yeah, I know who
Oh,
you're talking
So
about.
I know
good
who
in
you're
her
talking about, yeah.
scenes. She crushes her scenes.
Yeah.
She's
I
great, and then the other like older girl is amazing.
No,
Like her
that's-
scene explaining to Steve Like, I wasn't jealous of her. I was jealous of
Billy
you.
the racist. The third season is
He is
the
racist.
third
He's
season
right.
is I don't even know the character. The third season is maybe the best season since the first one. I just don't
Well,
remember
there's
it.
only if there's only 3 seasons, and you're saying that the third season's the best since the first one, you're only comparing it to the second one.
Well,
I
that's
know.
the second one has
I'm
one
aware of
little
this,
black
Lou.
guy right in the middle of it. Okay.
The second one has a lot of problems. It's not
Well,
just
it
that
has
one
that whole-
episode.
It has that
It's a
whole weird
lot of
opening
issues.
story.
What, the punk rock Scooby Squad?
Yeah, it's like
Which
yes,
I
that one
don't
one
mind
episode
the
stands
concept.
out.
I don't mind the concept, but it was
I
so
don't mind it
poorly
either.
handled and so hand waved away.
It's like we want to do the New Mutants, but we don't have the budget, time.
Or
It's
it's
the fucking baby X-Men.
Well,
It's not the
that-
budget, Arlen. It's the balls.
The introduction of them offends me to this day because they tried to slip in some Invisibles references, and I hate them for doing that for those fucking clods. Like there's a thing, there's a King Mob tag on the back wall, and there's one that has Barbalith on it. I'm just like, you motherfuckers, you ruin everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't like second season that much. It wasn't that great.
No, second season's not good. I don't like the references that they chose because they really did a surface level
The
thing
big thing
there.
in the second season is Sean Astin. Like, he's the saving grace of season 2.
Yes, he is.
Sure.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. I agree.
Him and 10 seconds
him and Paul
in season 3
Reiser.
in flashback. I was like, oh god,
Yeah.
fucking crushed all over again.
Well, like all his stuff is so good. Like, I remember when he's like, "Oh, it's a map," and they're just like, "Oh, look at him."
Yeah,
it's a treasure map.
I think
let's be
season
honest,
2 really lost track of like story and
It got
and character development.
It got way too into like let's do 80s references, and we'll have the guy from the Goonies, and we'll have the guy from like
exactly.
They spent too much time on this like fucking side quest that 11 was going to eventually go on. That like you get to that one episode and it just goes back. It's like, what the fuck? You could have done this in town.
Well,
it's so obviously there to spend the time to like draw out the plot so that she's doing something else. And
she's an instant problem solver, so they have to take her out of the fucking equation somehow.
Exactly. Yeah.
To me, it's more like, oh, we filmed this whole thing. They realized it didn't work, and they're like, fuck, we have to, like, we can't not include this because we spent so much money on it. I think
both things are true.
I bet there's so much more of that shit that we will never see.
Well, I think there's a lot of things going on. Season 2 was not season 2. Originally, they wanted to do more of an anthology thing. They wanted to set it somewhere else completely different.
That would have been much more interesting.
I think it would have been better.
Oh,
I think it would have been better.
I think it would have been better.
Yeah,
I think it would have been better. And then I think season 3, even going back, would have still worked.
Yeah, I think absolutely. Like
100%.
Building it out and like doing like a Stephen King universe thing where there are connections and things that come through. You have one or two characters show up as cameos. That might have been smarter.
You literally could have just had the reporter guy, and that would have been enough.
You could have had like a shared season where they don't meet up, but like each like climactic season is happening congruently.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
you know what?
Hunter,
that could work. Like every other episode or half an episode.
Yeah, and then like
here,
the finale is
like
the finale. You could have two big climaxes happening at the same time in two different places.
Yeah, you have your two teams meet. You have your gold team and your blue team.
Well, Hunter, I know you have that fan page for Stranger Things. So what do you think? Or you don't care anymore?
I don't care. I've been over it since season 1, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, aren't you cool?
He doesn't have enough time between that.
It's just it's not. I don't. Okay, I don't. I don't.
You put all your energy into that Resident Evil page, right?
Yeah, I do. I just don't have enough nostalgia for the 80s, like because I didn't grow up in it.
You don't want to
get
all
that.
the references to get to the Lovecratian goo monster.
Yeah, and even when I get to that, I'm like, it's not interesting to me. You know?
Well, so I kind of get that on one level. The 80s references were not what made me like the first season. I understand that that's the thing that turned some people off, is that like the 80s references are forced, blah blah blah. They wouldn't have a thing poster. They wouldn't, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah, like it's cool that it's there. It's just like, for me, it's like, yeah, cool. And then when I get to the actual monsters and stuff, I'm like, this is not that
Sure.
interesting to
Well,
me.
Hunter,
No,
let
no,
me.
Here's the thing. That,
Sure.
like, that type of horror where it's like the up. Here's the thing. I want more of the upside down. I'm not getting it. I want to know what the fuck that is. I want to spend
Right,
more
yeah.
time
Oh.
there because that to me is like, what the fuck is all that? Like,
Well, before
See,
we go too deep into
there's
this,
a goop dimension. I want to know what's in the goop dimension.
See, I like
I
the
just-
stuff with the kid. What's the one kid's name that got flipped there in the first season?
Oh
Will.
yeah, Will.
Yeah.
Will. Like, Will's the most interesting character we haven't done enough on
Yeah,
in the
Will
show.
spent months there and somehow survived.
well, Hunter, you
And he's
saying
connected.
Hunter, you saying you don't have any nostalgia for the '80s? Let me tell you about a little scene in season 3 where the toothless kid and his summer camp girlfriend sing "Neverending Story" to each other over the phone, or is it a CB? I can't remember
It's
which.
a CB.
CB.
Yeah,
That was
great.
That
that was a little
moment.
bit that was a little
Mhm.
bit much. Yeah,
Yeah.
I still like season 3, but yeah, that was
You
No,
know,
I agree, but like this was part of my thing that I was saying in one of
Yeah,
the
that
chats a
was
while
so whack.
ago, where I was like, none of season 2 and season 3 do not have the staying power of season 1. I remember most of season 1 like verbatim. I could describe entire episodes to
it-
you.
I
It's
remember
like
the
because
emotional
tell
high
you
points of season
a lot
3.
of what happened.
Yeah,
in
I remember the
season 3
emotional
and
high
2.
points of 3, but I don't remember anything like the road to each point is
No,
just
no.
a blur.
The things you remember in
Mhm.
season 3 are the mall, Billy, and like the
I do like
ending
Billy,
with
though.
Hooper.
Like
I like
The ending
yes,
with Hooper.
like
Billy
the one
is
thing
like-
I have a vague memory that there's like a Terminator thriller plot line with Hooper
Yeah.
and the Russian agent, and then the mall, like you said, and then a lot of it is a blur. A lot of it is.
Go ahead,
The thing-
Hunter.
It's like it's not. I don't think Stranger Things is bad. I'll never say it's bad because
Right.
I haven't seen enough of it to accurately say it's bad or like enough
Mhm.
people like it that it probably isn't bad. But it's. I look at this and I'm like, I could actually be like watching a movie from the '80s and like
Sure.
the aesthetic is like still there. Like you know,
Yeah.
You know what?
That's
Most
the
of the
thing.
movies aren't good though.
I think.
I mean,
a lot of them are.
Having
Arlen,
watched them, they aren't.
Yes.
Arlen, I
Yeah.
think going on to your points about how you remember season 1 almost verbatim, I think season 2 and 3 changed the tone of what that show was so drastically.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because season 1 felt
season
like a
one's-
horror show.
It's also vague
Yeah.
as fuck.
Mhm.
And like when Will eventually, when Will goes
Well,
missing, then up quote unquote dead, and they're playing the Book of Love by Peter Gabriel. I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, this show for about for the rest of that episode, I was like, well, that is a major bummer, and was sold in the fact that Will was just dead, and that something else might have been going on.
Well, season 1 plays like 3 different plot lines that eventually meet. Like you're watching a mom like lose her mind.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You're watching a mom lose her mind. You're watching a bunch of kids deal with
like
high
them.
school shit and losing their friend. And then all this weird government shit with 11. It's like there are 3 different plots converging.
Yes.
And then when you
I'll
get
be
to season
honest.
2 and 3, they're all kind of just together
Well,
for the
so
most part.
Lou, on what you're saying there, what also impressed me about season 1 is like there was an attention to detail with things like the filmmaking and like the degree that like the references that they would throw out. Yeah, they would do obvious 80s references, but then they would like recreate the close up of the typewriter from Jaws. Something
Oh,
only like a bunch
there-
of
there
fucking
was-
dorks would even recognize.
Yeah, but there
Um,
was like innovative stuff, like writing wise, that were interesting. Like the Christmas lights thing with the letters on the wall is with Winona. Like Winona Ryder one is amazing in that first season.
They
Like
threw in a lot of stuff that was very original and like very
That-
creative
that
and
scene
interesting
is-
as well.
that's an insane thing. It's like
I-
is she actually hearing this or is
I
she going
also-
insane?
Like
Or both.
this is gonna. This might be sacrilegious, but like I also think
Mhm.
the stuff with 11 is kind of lame. To be honest with you, 'cause
I
just
wouldn't
can't-
say it's
I-
lame. It's just like it's the
I
least
can't-
original thing in the whole
I
It's very
show.
can't get into it.
poltergeisty in
Mhm.
many ways.
It's just like
Now-
it's not. It's not because it's it's just a
Hmm.
little girl.
No.
Like
No,
it's just
you're right.
It's
Hunter.
just,
It's derivative. It's very much like Poltergeist, Firestarter.
Well,
Is that the Drew
it's-
Barrymore one?
Yeah,
Well,
it
it's
is.
also fucking scanners. Like it's
Yeah.
been done in
It's the
X-Men comics, in
Oh,
fucking.
I was
you can-
excluding. I was just talking about movies and TV. Yeah, if you go past movies and TV, that's been done a billion times.
Yeah, it's
Honestly, my
everywhere.
favorite thing about
yeah.
11 isn't the fact that she can blow somebody's head up with her brain. It's the fact that like she's so sheltered from
Mhm.
humanity that all of her interactions with any human are hysterical. Like watching
Yeah.
Hopper try to raise her in season 2 is hilarious because he doesn't know what the
Well,
fuck to do, and she's just
Well, that's the
screaming
thing,
at him
that's
the
the-
whole time.
the parts of season 2 that are the best are like her backstory removed from the New
Mhm.
Mutant stuff is really interesting. It's like, oh, we find out this is like some experiment, like kind of MK Ultra shit. Like, oh, that's cool. But then
Yeah.
once we get to like Emo Squad, it's like,
Well, the
I
MK
know.
Ultra
Just-
stuff is a
They
problem
weren't wearing
because Courtney
striped
Love isn't
sweaters and
there,
super
and
Shoegaze
Eric,
X-Men.
Eric, what did you call them? The
I,
punk rock.
I called them Punk Rock Scooby Squad. Like,
yeah, Punk
yeah.
Rock Scooby Squad. Punk Rock is
Yeah.
too
I don't
cool
know.
for them.
I-
They're
Yeah, but that's what they were emulating. Like emo is, I mean, mind you, I'm also coming from a '90s emo, but I'm not going to
Right.
go into that.
There's
old man thing.
also like 80 better things to watch on Netflix. in my
No,
opinion.
so here's the thing, Hunter.
Yeah,
You're
like
100% correct. You could be watching Our House, which is a
Yeah.
great film. The people.
Yeah.
you could be
You could be
watching,
watching Matrix.
the Kenshin movie, which I did not
Sure.
Which
did
is
not
good.
know was fucking awesome.
You could be watching
Yeah.
Residue. It's only 3 episodes.
I could be watching The Witcher at any
No, you
time.
shouldn't
I
be
want.
watching
You could be
that.
watching what's that new Japanese movie everyone's like going crazy about?
Oh,
and all
Squid
this?
Game?
It's Korean,
Squid Game?
Lou.
South
Oh,
Korea.
Oh,
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
Shouldn't we watching
Whoa.
Residue?
I'm sorry. I'm offensive. I'm offensive to my own people. The Korean movie. I
Yes,
might have to
you
watch
are,
that
Lou.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
I've watched
I-
the episodes. It's really good.
Squid Game.
I heard
I've
it's
heard
good.
so.
I'm waiting for like the discourse to die down because like
I heard
don't-
it's like super nihilistic. Like
it is. I'm
Yeah.
It's
just
like super anti-capitalist, like nihilistic kind of.
Mhm.
I am
I will
Netflix
say-
not
producing a
into
lot of
the
content
idea.
like that. I wonder why. I wonder if there's something
I do
going
say,
on.
I-
Watch
Hunter-
Residue.
I
It
gave-
has chemical ghosts.
Hunter,
I
what
gave-
were you gonna
No,
say?
Residue is actually very good, but
I
they're
love
never
Residue so
making
much.
more of it, sadly.
I am just not
Um,
into the idea of discussing Squid Game with any weeaboos. I just don't want to.
No, so here's the
I
thing.
can't.
From
I
everything
cannot
that I've
be
So
a
heard,
please
weird
listen
because
to my
I'm
podcast
Asian.
called The Comic Club.
Technically,
Yeah.
a lot of people are just taking the wrong lessons
Yes,
from
and
Squid
that's
Game
what-
already.
That's my issue. That's my issue.
and it's like, God, we can't have anything nice, can we?
Oh, so
Before
just like
somebody
Starship
comes
Troopers.
along
Of
and
course
improves it.
Hunter, there's a 3-episode pilot. This is Residue that me and Aaron were talking about. It's about a nightclub explosion. And, like
With ghosts.
underground beneath the nightclub, like there might have been some spooky government shit happening, and then like they accidentally create like
A ghost.
scientific experiment ghosts. Yeah, like they
Come ghosts.
Yes.
yeah, but sludge ghosts basically. Like yeah, like
Wait,
What?
Connor,
Whatever you wanna
what-
call
What
it.
decades does this happen in?
like I don't know. It's the show has been like I don't know a decade ago.
If I
Um,
swear to God, if you say the 80s,
Well,
No,
I was going to say, like, is there a chance that this ghost has a certain autoimmune disease?
huh? No. Jesus Christ. My fucking
Very
god.
good. Very good.
That was really slick.
Smoke.
No, it's got a bunch of Game of
Welcome to
Thrones
our
people.
3
It's
millionth
got
episode.
Ramsey Bolton. It's got OSHA and a couple of people you might recognize. It's a
OSHA.
yeah.
So all the people that didn't make it into Eternals or into Peaky Blinders.
That's another show I gotta watch because apparently
Oh,
Peaky
dude,
Blinders is fucking
Peaky
awesome.
Blinders,
But,
is fucking
But it
amazing.
basically creates this like big old quarantine zone in somewhere in England, and like inside the quarantine zone is not only like what might be ghosts, but like also some more spooky government shit.
Do they
Oh,
defeat them
yeah.
with their terrible breakfasts?
Yeah, I just remember it being very like
So-
stylish and cool.
Oh,
The score
I
was really
get-
good.
The score
To
is
get rid of the
great,
cum
opening is
ghosts.
great.
Do
I
they,
will
Yeah.
say,
they have to-
It's not just ghosts though, because like if you can become infected with the shit and become like some like living phantom or something, and then just instantly kill
Oh.
yourself.
No.
Yeah.
I will say, like, I think I told you guys like way early on in school, like, horror is like a huge thing with kids still.
Yeah,
I mean,
Especially with
it's
my English
That's 'cause
language kids,
Gen
like,
Z are super nihilist.
well,
Mhm.
like everybody.
Well, yeah, because they think the world is ending.
Yeah.
And they're right.
Because it is.
Good
Because it
reason.
is.
But
Yeah.
everybody has
Yeah.
Netflix and they watch all the Netflix horror shows. But
Lou,
I
I want you to tell all your kids to watch Titan.
Okay,
No,
Uh,
don't do that.
Make them
Don't
all
do
watch
that.
Titan.
I
Make them
heard.
watch. Make them watch Titan and then the Cronenberg film Crash.
I was
Make them
reading
watch them
on.
back to back.
I was reading
if I'm gonna make
earlier
them
on
watch a
Twitter.
Cronenbergian film, I'm gonna make them watch the Fantastic Four.
I was reading earlier on Twitter that the director of Titan wants to make the most fucked up cinematic universe, and I'm like, okay.
Wait. No, okay, wait.
So wait, is he leading the Dark Universe now?
No, she. Okay, so wait, Hunter, are you saying that she wants to connect Titan to
I
Raw?
think.
Because
Yeah, hold on. I'm looking for the article.
if she wants
Oh,
to,
wait.
oh my god, if she
Hunter-
wants to
while
tie
Hunter
those
is
two
looking,
together,
Can I say, me and my wife gave in to pressure of the world and watched a very popular show, and I was mad
Big
how
Bang
much
Theory?
I liked it instantly. No, Ted Lasso. Like, I
oh,
was so mad how much I loved it in the first episode.
interesting.
I understand that, like, it is, if you have any inclination into, like, sports stuff, it is instantly connecting to you. But, like, I did not know that Sudeikis, that's his name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, was, like, had this range. Like, especially, like, season 2 is good. I mean, season 1 is good. Season 2 is great.
You
And,
know,
like,
I've heard it's good. I watched the first episode and I was like, oh, this is
it's
not
like,
Hot
it's
Shots.
like it's a serious version of Major League.
Major League. Yes, it is. I
Yes.
was like, this is just Major League.
In
And
season
that
1,
didn't
yes.
turn me off, but I was like,
No, but, like, season 2 gets really good, and I will say, like, character development wise, also the one character Roy is so quotable, and just like him saying "fuck," like he's just so good at that. But yeah,
I don't know if this is a shameful thing I've never admitted or it's just a straight up Erik thing, but I'm hesitant to watch any shows like that everybody's claiming are the funniest things ever.
I know.
No,
because
I would say it's
I
not
have
funny.
the same thing.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm very gun shy about that because I tried to watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine and it didn't click for me one bit.
I was the same way with I Think You Should Leave, and then I watched it, and it's the funniest shit to me.
Yeah, I think You Should Leave is great.
Yeah, I was like, this can't be that funny, and it is.
Yes.
I would say I don't think Ted Lasso is that funny. I think it's a better character piece.
Okay.
See, everybody I know who's watched it has talked about how funny it is.
I have laughed for sure. I think it's a better piece on like character stuff, like a character study on like if you know anything about like college, like because he's supposed to be like a college coach, and then it's a fish out of water like thing in England. Like it is more of a character piece on like these different kind of stereotypical sports characters.
Lou, you saying that recalibrates it a little bit for me because the things that I heard was that it was very funny and it's very positive.
It's not. That is like I think that is people who are very. That is a very shallow view of the show. I think it is very much not.
I think people also grab onto the things that just occur to them.
Click with them.
Like so like and the main thing I actually more than hearing that it was funny, just that it's very positive and that the character is very positive.
I will tell you
that shit out of my face.
No, the character.
See, that's where me and Erik really, really agree because I'm like, fuck you. Nobody's that positive. Nobody's that happy. You don't exist.
Harlan, that's where you're right, and that's why people who tell you that are dumb. Is because the show kind of delves into why, especially in season 2, is where we get those like, why is this guy like this? Why are these characters like this? And it gets more into like, well, why is this character like one of the soccer players? Why is he such a fucking asshole? And then you like you see his dad, and you're like, oh, and like that's like thing that comes back.
Yeah, but
and then, like,
but
you
how
learn
many
about
episodes? How many episodes does it take to get that storyline told?
For that specific character, probably like 5.
Yeah.
For Jason Sudeikis' character, like it is like to know. I will tell you, who's watched Buffy in here?
I watched almost all of it.
The guy that plays Giles Buffy's
Oh
like
yeah, you
thing.
just have to
His
say
name is
Giles. Everybody
Giles.
knows
Yeah,
Giles.
Giles.
Even people.
Giles is the ex-husband of the owner of the team. He used to own the team. She won it
Okay,
in their divorce. He is so good at being the
yeah.
greatest piece of shit you have ever seen on TV. Like he's such a fucking asshole. And
Yeah.
you're
I
like,
don't know.
oh, I get everything that she's doing.
My whole thing with any of
It's
Apple
I will tell you
TV.
from my point of view, it's not a comedy. It's
Mm.
it's like a Sopranos level like dramedy. It's drama first, comedy second.
Yeah.
I just I was gonna say I have Apple TV Plus for free right now through
So do
Target.
I.
Bizarrely,
Yeah, it's
Literally
so
the same
wow,
thing.
so do
Yes.
I.
yeah.
So do
Yes.
I. That
And
is why
I
we're
just
watching it.
I don't see myself ever watching it at this point. I can't. I don't
I
know.
gave it a shot. I can't connect with any other stuff. The one that I got the furthest into was the Shyamalan one, and
Is that the
Guest.
blind people one?
No,
no,
that's
it's
C.
no,
It's
that's yeah, that's
Guest.
C. Is it guest or is it servant? Something like that. It's
Something. Yeah, I think it's Servant. Yeah.
Is
It's
that the one
and
where is it the woman is the nanny?
Yeah.
yeah, she's the nanny to the fake baby,
It's not the one
and
with
it's
Yes.
Princess Anne, is it?
very
That's a hell of a sentence.
it's
It's like
very
the boy,
Hitchcock.
but yeah, it's
Well,
like
no,
a
it's
suspense thing.
it's more like Hitchcockian because a lot of Shyamalan, almost all of his stuff is actually very Hitchcockian.
Yeah. The only I'm
I
trying
just
to think.
I watched the entirety of that first season of that show because when we first
Oh.
got our I think when I got my iPhone,
Apple
I
TV,
got it.
you get like a year free.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Right.
I got my iPhone like a year or two ago, my
Yeah.
new one, and
We
I got it a
literally
year.
have never
So did it
watched
get
anything
better?
on Apple TV till now.
No, the first season doesn't explain anything other than
Oh, good.
how the
That's
baby
annoying.
actually died. And outside of that, that's it. You get more weirdness added to the nanny, and then she disappears.
The baby
And-
died from the baby died
I'm
from the
glad
do
that
you-
I dropped out of
All
that
right,
one.
you want to know how the baby died? The mom left the baby in the back of the car in the middle of the summer.
Oh,
And-
that's fucked.
You can't do that to a baby.
No, you can't.
As someone
No,
who
you can't,
literally has
because
a
the baby will turn
that's
into a
fucked.
monster.
Because babies are cowards and can't open doors.
Okay, wait.
Just like
Can I
telling
say
some
time out?
signs.
What year does this show take place in?
It's like modern day.
Yeah.
Because I will say,
I mean-
as somebody who has a newish car, my car yells at me if there's anything that has any weight in the back seat.
Nice.
Okay, no, I do want to rephrase, or I want to correct something. I say modern day. Apparently, maybe this is wrong. Eric, you are the closest to this area, so you can maybe say if this is correct or not. It seems like the people of Philadelphia put a lot of importance on newscasting and being a newscaster, which I had assumed nobody gave any shits about anymore.
No. The people of
I-
Philadelphia put a lot of pressure on everyone, and if they don't like them, they throw batteries at them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Philadelphia is trash. I said it. Philadelphia is
They're
trash.
trash monsters.
They've had a chip on their shoulders because they're not New York.
Yeah,
So
no.
everybody there is pissed.
They've
and
had
then
a chip
bring
on
it
their shoulder.
everywhere.
They were like sort of the capital of the country for a hot second, and then once
Yeah.
Benjamin Franklin dipped out, they were like, "Oh fuck."
So
Yeah.
I went to Philadelphia for
I know
three
he
Dragon
said
Gate
it exactly
shows.
like that too.
I went there for 3 Dragon Gate shows, and on 2 of them, several cars were broken into and robbed. Like,
Yeah, that's not shocking.
So-
Yes, but the thing
Yeah.
is, they were
3 of them.
broken into and they were broken.
Connor,
into
when
and
you
robbed
first said
by
that, I
the-
want you to know that I heard you say drag shows, and I was like,
three drag
thanks,
shows
dude.
in Philadelphia.
But the
And
thing
And
is,
honestly,
in Vegas.
that's surprising to me because I'm
those
like, yeah,
cars were broken into and robbed by the mascot of the Flyers.
Yes.
Gritty was all up in that shit.
Yes. No, Gritty's
I will say-
too busy fighting for the proletariat.
The one Apple TV show I'm actually excited for, only because I listened to like the 10-part podcast of, is the one
Oh,
with
yeah.
Will Ferrell and Paul Rudd.
Mhm.
He's fucking wild. Like, I want to see this because the story is fucking insane.
Yeah, it's the
Huh.
one where the shrink stole the,
shrink.
identity of.
Yeah, he
of,
incepted his like rich client
Mhm.
identity, like New York Jewish accountant, which him being Jewish is a part of the story. and like the therapist is like this super waspy guy. The real life story is insane,
Oh,
and there has been.
This sounds just exactly like that Michael Bay movie. No, it doesn't. But
no.
Because I think the podcast starts with like, oh, I went to this party and I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then there was this guy cleaning up trash. I was like, hey, how are you? He's like, yeah. It's like, oh, who are you? I'm like, I'm this guy. It's like, and he owned the house and he was cleaning up the trash. I didn't even know that he owned the house. I was there to visit this guy, and it's the therapist.
Hunter, update on the Julia Ducerno cinematic universe.
I couldn't find a specific interview, but she was saying like,
okay.
All right, so
something.
Who can kick Hunter from the chat?
Well, no, because okay. Does anyone want to know? Does anybody want to know any plot details about Titanic?
I do know a specific thing because I'm not.
Okay.
Arlen, I'm sorry, I can't watch this right now. But
no, I understand. I understand.
I do know about the car.
You know about the car. Okay.
I know about the car.
That's good.
Yes.
Okay. I won't say what happens, but I'll say this. Whatever her cinematic universe would be, it would be the most amazing thing based off of how Titanic ends.
Knowing that detail, I think like whatever else she puts in this universe, it's the fucking whatever.
Well, because for those who haven't seen Raw yet, the reveal at the end of Raw, I don't just
go ahead.
Lou, I
it's been out for a while.
Raw,
I have no idea what you're talking about. When you talk about Raw, all I can think about is it's some movie where
okay, Lou, I'll give you the brief synopsis of Raw.
It's Raw and trivia like Cookie straight from Bolivia.
Yeah.
No, okay, so Lou,
man.
Lou, Raw is a movie about a girl who goes to veterinary school, and she goes there as a strict vegan. She's never eaten meat her entire life.
Yeah.
She gets like pig's blood in her mouth, and she suddenly becomes a cannibal as a result, and just eating all of.
Wait! Time out. What kind of blood hits her mouth?
Pig's blood. Like it, and it like activates her.
She gets a taste of meat, and suddenly wants it from wherever.
Yes, she will take it from anywhere.
So it's like a weird vampire-ish story?
Kind of, because at the end it's revealed that it's genetic. It's a thing that her entire family has, or like at least the women in her family, because her father has scars from her mom trying to eat him.
Because I will say, I only know this from a random CSI episode that there is a genetic thing where you have to
have a certain vitamin man on Earth.
Have a certain vitamin in your system.
Here's the thing. This is gonna be funny. I think I've seen the episode of CSI that was referencing.
Jesus Christ!
Wait,
I love
CSI. Does she use dogs to kill people?
I just love the idea that like this dude is getting eaten by his wife, and he's just not doing anything about it.
Well, I think it's been like she goes into like crazed, like she like goes into. I think the idea is that she goes into like a flurry, and she like starts ripping parts of his chest out.
That's a huge red flag, my man. Like
I don't know.
Contact a lawyer.
Some people are into that stuff.
I mean, they might be, but
consent is a very.
People are into wearing fursuits. People are into adult diapers.
Exactly.
I feel like
people are into all kinds of stuff.
I feel like if you're into that
podcast for a second.
What, do you got to go defend your adult baby group?
No. Yeah. Okay. No. I was flabbergasted because I am like watching over a new club in my school, and literally the word "first soda" came up, and I dropped my head and shook my head like as comically as possible. And just was like, "What is happening to me? What have I signed up for?"
Oh, you
where has my life gone?
You opened that gate with
the box, sweet K.
As I was like, I feel like if that is your kink, you go into the marriage with that kink. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Well, no, I think he did, because I think the implication is that he accepted her for being some weird cannibal monster. Knowing full well that they would raise cannibal monster daughters,
because that's how genetics work.
Exactly. Well,
movies are real.
It works, and if this is the same universe,
it's not like it's it's not supernatural, but it's not normal what they're implying. Like it's just kind of
Well,
it's
Connor,
an
if this is
animal cannibalistic urge.
Connor, if this is the same universe as Titan, I think it is supernatural.
I can't remember what podcast I was
think
listening
it
to, and they were talking about like I think it was a video game podcast, and they were like talking about like, oh, there's like any horror movie. It's like, yeah, you never see people of color in there because they're like, nah, I'm out of this. I got too much real shit going on in my life. And they peace out.
Well, on the subject of the director of Raw and Titan, because I read the Wikipedia article about Titan, because I'm not going to have a chance to see it anytime soon. I kind of love the fact that this woman seems to be like, oh, that's cute, David Cronenberg. That's really cute. she's just like, here, let me
Brandon,
show
you're
you
adorable.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna up the ante so fucking hard that you can't even imagine.
But I mean, they're also kind of running parallel paths, but his is more like biocircuitry and weird bullshit like that, and hers is just it's a wealth of things in two different movies so far.
Yeah. It's a lot. I mean, I don't know how she builds this universe out. I don't know what the next iteration of this will
either.
be.
She was sort of implying like that she just wants to create the most fucked up cinematic universe possible.
I mean, it would be because I've tried. I still
that's
can't
gonna be
figure out a
really
way to
hard
sum up
after
Titan.
like Aunt Petunia's tea.
No, it's Granny's peach tea.
Yeah.
This kind
What
of
if
wish there was more Tetsuo movies because I'm still bummed we only got 3.
That
So I feel like
I
there's
don't
more
know.
fun to have there.
That's I mean, that guy was already relatively old when he was starting to direct them, and every time I see like a Japanese director that like I liked when I was younger, I'm like, oh god, you've aged 300 years.
Yeah,
Like, I feel
Eric,
like
that's
Japanese,
because
more
Asian people
Tetsuo
have
movies, but like more movies maybe within that universe that aren't about like because Tetsuo is basically the same story 3 times, especially the first 2.
I know,
but
but
like
it just
different kind of
but Eric, Asian
movies in
people
that
only
universe
have
maybe.
Asian people have only 2 ages. They're like either tweens or they're like 175 years old.
110.
well, and I'm not basing this on any knowledge, but I feel like the Japanese and particular film industry is very hard on the directors. Like, unless there's somebody that's insanely popular, but I feel like it's much harder on the
Eric,
behind the screen.
Even if you're popular, I mean, look at Anno's story. Anno fucking went through it hard, and he was extremely popular at the time.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah,
but
Yeah,
it's so I just can't see anybody not looking like Miyazaki or Kurosawa. like they're
perpetually silver.
Yeah, just like they're perpetually aging, but like they still have the same very well kempt look. But it's still like this industry is killing me.
Miyazaki is fueled by the hatred for his son. So
yes, exactly. Well, Goro's an asshole, so yeah.
And his love of planes.
Yes.
He does
Yeah. Oh, so he has a lot in common with Connor's dad.
You know who looks
No.
You know who looks great?
Connor's dad
Junji
likes things
Ito.
under the sea.
Junji Ito looks fine.
Oh, he's the happiest man on earth. That's because he gets all the evil out on
Connor's
page.
dad likes
Happiest
Connor's dad would like
motherfucker I've ever
Ponyo.
Have you seen that video of Junji Ito like looking at cat videos? So good.
He's the best. I love him. He's such a jovial dude for doing some of the most horrific things.
Yeah, I love like when people put like pictures of him next to Miyazaki and like they just put that caption of like for Miyazaki, it's like everything is temporary, everything will fucking die. Then Junji Ito is like, I love cats. Like,
yep. Just Miyazaki saying anime was a mistake is my favorite fake fucking picture that's
is that
ever
a real
existed.
thing? I have to ask. Like,
I don't know.
There's no way.
No, because I watched what was the documentary about him? Burden of Dreams? No, that's not it. It was Burden of Dreams?
I think so,
Okay.
isn't it?
Yeah. That does sound right. But yeah, I watched that specifically waiting for that moment. I'm like, okay, he didn't actually say it. It's
but,
just
like,
somebody.
Is there any truth to like that being his personality, where he's just this like rainy motherfucker who just like sullen all the
Yes.
time?
Not 100%, but he's a curmudgeon.
He does the joke about him hating his son. Like he does have this attitude towards his own son that seems to imply.
Yeah, but it's his son of
his
it's his son of fuck. Like that's the question.
Here's the thing. I don't know.
So here's the thing. You say he hates his son, and my brain immediately goes to There Will Be Blood. and it's just him throwing his son onto the ground.
A baby in a basket.
I
Basket
believe
in a basket.
I believe
see,
his
like-
son directed a few. Like he
He
directed
Earth
from
C.
and From Up on Poppy Hill.
Yeah.
Oh, that explains it. That
Yeah.
explains why Earthsea really sucks.
Maybe his son just sucks. Like, who knows?
Also, it's an
God.
adaptation of Earthsea, which nobody should adapt because
Also, was not a big fan of Erwig and the Witch. No.
I like to imagine Miyazaki and his son. His son is like Gene Simmons' son, where he's just a terrible
So
shithead.
he just steals stuff.
Yeah, except he was stealing Warner Brothers cartoons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we want
He's
to
just
wrap
tracing
this?
Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Do we want to wrap this
it's-
up, being that we're going on almost 1 o'clock?
Yeah,
I mean,
we're about to approach
I-
3 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
only
I
a
got
Boisterous-
one
boisterous
Arlen thing in,
5-year
so
anniversary.
I'm happy to do that. I'm happy.
Okay.
to do that.
It's okay, Eric.
Okay.
That you can admit that you're weak.
No,
His
that's
bones
fine.
are
I will.
frail.
I'm
They're
just
failing
kidding.
him.
They are.
so-
No, it's
I-
fine. I'm a
This
tired
is my
old man.
one day of the week where,
Yeah.
as a new dad, I can drink alcohol and be free.
Mm.
So take this away
Well,
from me. And
You know, you
can.
can do that if you start your car.
Oh, but the thing is, my car died 2 weeks ago, and I had to buy a new one. And this is the best time to buy a new car, right?
Oh well, I meant close the garage door and start the car.
Oh,
I'm glad I did it.
Wow, if you haven't seen Midsommar,
Oh no.
I'll
Anyways,
just throw
this-
myself into a
That's on the
fucking
Donkey
wood
Kong
chipper.
hammer, right?
yeah. So this has been our 3 millionth episode. We've been doing this for the past 52 years.
Yes,
Uh,
I'm so
I have-
old.
I have been your host, ostensibly, Erik Fedorchak. You can find me at Erik_Fedor on Instagram. There's pictures of dogs and food and cats and comics. I'm other places around the internet. I'd like to close out this very special 30 millionth episode with 3 quotes from one of my favorite fucking writers on the internet, a man who goes by the name of Drill. A mother bird
shit.
tends to her young until my big sweatpants ass slowly pushes her nest off the tree.
What?
8 of the Navy's finest men repel into my quarters and change my diaper. I stumble towards the balcony and throw cans at their helicopter. And the final one is my dick hits all the wrong notes and smells like newspaper.
What?
Oh my God.
It's
He's the
Drill.
internet's funniest man, I have to say.
He's one of the godfathers of weird Twitter, and he has a book out which is Drill Official Mr. 10 Years Anniversary Collection, and it's a book that I like to take out and read when I'm stoned because it's the funniest thing on earth.
Drill has
Luke,
beaten Twitter
Drill
over and over again.
Yeah.
Like Drill is the Twitter final boss. Like
yes.
he's unmatched at what he does.
See, I thought I was cool when I found I'm gonna have to find this account on TikTok that I was going to share to Hunter. That's called.
Well, you're
like,
automatically the coolest of at least 3 of us because you know,
I mean,
you
I'm-
know how to use TikTok.
I'm also on TikTok.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
this is
know,
why I
I
said
dances.
3. There are 5 of us. Hunter, can you do math? You
No,
tall ass son of a bitch.
I
yo,
can't
I
do
have
that.
to stay
The
on
numbers
TikTok.
don't get that high.
I don't need my students slapping my ass. Like that's
Yeah, no, ooh, yike.
Coco the Talking Ape has been living high on the hog, wasting our tax dollars on high capacity
I
diapers.
have been
No more. I will
104.
suplex that beast.
You can go listen to Kame Club every Sunday. We have
I see how it is.
we have a episode coming out tomorrow about we talked a good bit about Kingdom Hearts for most of it.
There you go.
Also, babies are cowards and they can't open doors. They can't
They
get
can't
jobs.
use can openers.
you son of a bitch.
They can't read.
I am offended.
They've got no
But
they're gonna
but-
keep looking at
but-
aliens.
But babies can't go to space. So.
They can go to space, even female babies. It's
Yeah.
it's a
Again, very offended by this comments.
okay. Well, now I'll do my plugs since we're all out of order. We're all loopy
Yeah.
loopy.
Yeah, I got in there.
Licensed to Pod is the show. Well, we're gonna take a break from horror movies, I think, but we're back. We're doing it. We're covering the Bonds. We'll get to No Time to Die whenever we get to it.
Son
Yeah,
of a bitch, how dare you?
Lou, you are on the next episode. You
I am?
reserved your space. Did you not want to do
Yeah.
GoldenEye?
No, I want to do GoldenEye, but I definitely need to do that Korean one too.
Well,
the
no,
one that's
you
going to have
definitely.
every member of the internet on it.
Yes.
We need Lou. We need you there for the episode where a white man or where a Korean man
Like
turns
for
white.
for legal reasons, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes, yeah. So yeah, licensed pod, and me and Eric are gonna both be watching horror movies we haven't seen before. So look forward to that in the newest LHPs. So
I always have a split second where I'm like, wait, when did I make this pun with Arlen?
it would be, Eric, it's a bit that I haven't really. We haven't talked about before, but I want it to be a bit where, in the middle of everybody else talking, you and me just pretend to do a fake Fargo podcast. Someday. Yes.
Who wants to go next?
I'm Connor McGraw, and Movie Dumpster is rolling out the trick-or-treat stuff. Trick-or-trash. Sorry. We're starting with Halloween 6.
Is that Phantom of the Witch?
What?
No,
I'm
that's
joking.
3.
I-
That's 3 where that old man fucks every
I am-
woman who's
I am
alive.
very much
Even I
joking.
know. Even I know that that's not right.
Fuck that title up more, Lou. I dare you.
Hey,
Please.
like
But no,
This is-
Lou. I understand
was
why Lou
making a
asked that
joke.
because again,
Of the witch.
because the man who is in a lot of Carpenter movies, he has sex with like all of the women in that movie, or he at least attempts to have sex with every single one of them. Oh my god, that fucking.
I say this, yeah. I'm pretty sure I've seen all of the Halloweens except for probably did one come out in the last like 3 years?
Who knows? Who?
I don't think I've seen the second Rob Zombie one, whatever that one
Oh,
was.
that's
I didn't
real
see
fucking bad. I talk
Well,
about that a lot.
that. I saw the first
Yeah.
one.
I guess Harvey
I've-
Weinstein took that movie over. Lou, you listen to the same podcast I do, so you probably knew
Yes.
that already. But yes,
So you're saying
Yeah.
when Harvey Weinstein takes over a movie, it came out bad? Yes.
What?
Mm,
I
yeah.
can't believe that.
Shocking.
We talk about Halloween in general. Halloween 6, there's 2 cuts. Joe sent me the fucking theatrical cut, and when it was over, I wanted to strangle him. And then he cozily watched the producer's cut, and he was like, "What? I had to have a." He's like, "One of you had to suffer." I was like, "I still fucking. I don't care if it was indifferent. I hate you
Hey,
for it."
Condor, you let me know when you want to punish your fucking co-host on that show, and I'll give you some movies.
Oh, I already have some. Trust me, because our tastes are so different, I have some weight in the wings. I know he's gonna fucking hate. So,
Mm.
it's fun. I don't want to give away the ghost, but that movie fucking sucks. And honestly,
Yeah.
we discussed whether or not Halloween should have ever been a franchise to begin with, and if it deserves to still be one, which is honestly one of my favorite parts of that show we just did. So,
I mean, I'll spoil it right now. It shouldn't have been a franchise. It should have just
No.
been the first one.
Season,
but-
yeah, it should have been
His
just a
original plan.
title. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
and we even talk about Michael Myers as a slasher villain, like in the pantheon of slasher villains. We're like, none of us put him above fucking Leatherface. Like, he's not. Michael Myers is not a slasher icon to me. He's a fucking horror movie character who's been done to death.
Well, it's because they took his power away because he was the thing that made him scary is that he's not a person. Anyways, let's get out of here before.
Yeah.
Well, Lou
Oh,
has
just
something
third
you
out.
might want
Oh,
to
Lou,
Yeah.
Lou, are you plugging? Are you back?
I don't
in
know.
saddle?
I am
don't know.
literally. I think because of everything, I have Monday off, so maybe we'll do a show tomorrow. But if you want to send anything, there's an awesome TikTok, Hunter, you should follow called Cult of Kushnu. I thought it was you at first, but it's not. It's somebody else on TikTok. But yeah, send all your Kushnu hate over to Young
Kushnu.
Kame.
Who?
Khonshu?
Who?
Khonshu? Kushnu?
Khonshu.
Those are not
Khonshu?
even close. Those are not
Put
even.
some respect on his goddamn name.
Khonshe.
Khonshu.
Yeah, no.
It's like
Whatever.
corn
yeah.
shoe. That's his new name.
I think Lou gets a pass on
Yeah, 'cause he's-
on giving
I'm
white
sleepy.
people shit.
Lou's been
Yeah.
canceled.
I am too.
We will
Yeah.
allow this.
Cancelled.
All these white people are telling me how to pronounce a Middle Eastern name.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. 'Cause
Well,
we can.
I think before we get too deep into the weeds again, I will leave you with extremely getting a UTI by using the same shirt I used to wipe my dog's mouth to wipe piss off of my dick. Good night, everybody.
Me and my daughter wore Wu-Tang shirts today because Wu-Tang is for the children.
Bye.
Babies are cowards.
Adios.
They'll starve if you don't open food for them.
Donde están los cabros?